deceive. We have come into the night, thunder and rage in war at night. We have come into the night, thunder and rage in war at night. We'll fight, darkness, the Ragnarok. Bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. The sound of arms, fierce morality. Nightfall, the rain, and the silence leads. We have come into the night, thunder rage in war at night. We have come into the night, thunder rage in war at night. We'll fight, darkness, the Ragnarok, sail war. Bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok, bring her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Valhalla Esports Season 4, some games for week number 6. I'm joined by NBG Tactic. How you doing?
Big chillin'.
Nice. And we are looking at, as I said, Demonic Ascension versus Shifting Sands Gaming. Demonic Ascension have Golden Pharaoh top, the Glizzler in the jungle, Empire for higher mid, Console CADC, and TTVEOD Fell in support. Shifting Sands has Copium top, Avius jungle, Mockingbird mid, Beeson ADC, and Kitten support. How you feel about this matchup?
So it seems that Demonic Ascension is kind of more centered around their bot lane, whereas the other team is more centered around their top side.
Shifting Sands Gaming, and they are getting into draft number 1, so we'll pop it over there. Shifting Sands with Beeson, he's actually has some pop-off games as well, so they're more heavy with Avius in the jungle, but their bot lane still isn't a slouch. As we see now, Shifting Sands Gaming is so large it goes out of the thing. I never noticed that. But we got the Volley ban, the Trundle ban for the blue side. Demonic taking out that Jinx. Beeson's been popping off on that, so I like that ban. And then the Galio take away some global ultimates. And sounds like we might get Malco for game number 2, so keep an eye out for that. Apparently he just woke up, so that's exciting. As Shifting Sands bans away Asol for ban number 3. Demonic's taking out that Viego, one of the stronger carry junglers, with the immediate pick on the Skarner. I wonder if they're gonna jungle with that Skarner or put in that top lane.
I've been when Skarner first came out, I was playing against it a lot in the top lane. It was really annoying. Looks like they grabbed up the Swain Senna, possibly for the bot lane, but we don't know yet for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. As we get the Swain, Senna come for Demonic, and then the Seraphine Varus answer. So I'm assuming that Swain will be mid, but could be a Swain Senna bot lane if they really wanted to.
I
We should
personally
have it
really like
covered, Blitz. Thank you for the offer, though.
I really like the Swain Senna combo just because their kits really complement each other.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you land a root as either of them, you set up the rest of the damage to come through pretty easily. And the Darius pickup, Bunny Lord's been liking that in the top lane, picking it here as the pick 3 for red side. You don't get the full counter pick, but you get to pick your champ and then ban away anything you don't want to see into it. So we'll see if they ban away any champs for Bunny Lord, uh, since he'll be playing against uh, Cop in that top lane. So they take out that Silas, good ban away there. Then a Fury takeaway on the Shadow Shifting Sands. We'll see what Demonic's final ban will be. Assuming either something Bunny Lord doesn't want to see or just another jungle ban, since, you know, you got Avius to deal with. Bunny Lord. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. I am blanking on who it was. It's not Bunny Lord. He's on Titan Gaming Box. It's Pharaoh up there. So yeah, you're right. I was just blanking out for some reason. Get the Lee Sin takeaway. Don't want to give that early game jungler over to Avius, and then the Ari ban away for Shifting Sands. Assuming we'll see the jungle pick here for Demonic.
It's a little interesting to see the Silas ban from Demonic just because they don't exactly have a lot of good ults to steal. Well, now they do. They
Yeah.
got Swain and Zac ult now.
Yeah, when you have the Swain, disbanding with a Silas is a lot of times good, because you don't want to give a Silas that ultimate. With the Talia coming out, I'm assuming... Oh, nope, switching it up. They're feeling the Corki maybe for Shifting Sands. I was gonna say I like the Talia for jungle, because it's very strong right now. Getting that Syndra, going for some long range poke in that mid lane. And the Xin Zhao, so it will be the Skarner top. If this pick goes through.
Personally, I think Skarner top is more obnoxious than Skarner jungle.
Right. Now we'll see what the counter pick will be, if it is indeed Swain bot with the Senna, or if they're sending him mid and picking a different co-laner with Senna. It looks like it'll be the Hui. So, yep, got the Hui mid, Swain, Senna bot lane. I do like that setup for Demonic. Have some good frontliners in the Swain, Darius, and Zac, and then kind of long range damage from Senna and Hui for late game. For Shifting Sands, they're just hoping their engage will be good enough. Skarner can get some stuns off and pull people back in the team, while Syndra has a long range stun, and Varus with the long range root, and the Seraphine ultimate for the charm. So, kind of a lot of long range engage buttons for them. We'll have to see who can get it. It looks like they'll be getting into their draft now, and then we'll have to wait those 3 minutes. How you feeling about the matchup?
I really like both sides' drafts because they kind of all synchronize with each other pretty well. The only oddball in the draft is the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it seems odd both in that it doesn't really fit with that team comp, and also it's not that like hyper carry you'd think they'd try to put Avius on.
It's definitely one of those junglers that if it gets ahead, it's really disruptive. So it kind of really comes down to how Avius prioritizes ganking and farming.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And while we get into this game, I will start up the predictions. So if you're interested, make sure you get your gambas in. I know everyone needs their fix. And it should be started up now, so you'll have 5 minutes to get your votes in. It's weird for me, like I know Skarner's pretty popular top right now, but I haven't actually seen it in any of my games in solo queue.
When I was practicing top, I saw it quite often, but that was before we released it
Right, right.
to the normal rotation. So I was kind of banning it just because like I'm not going to be playing against it in normal games, but it was really obnoxious in melee matchups because Skarner has that AoE like slam on top of throwing rocks at you. So it has a lot of tools to deal with melees, even though it's a melee itself.
Right, right.
I think if the game goes long, Demonic Ascension has a slight edge just because you have the infinite scaling of Senna Swain.
Right.
Um, but I definitely like the team fight comp of Shifting Sands a lot. Has a lot of damage potential.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's like if they can space properly on the side of Shifting Sands and they get their carries big or Avius gets big on the Zenzao, they have a good chance. But I like the engage on the side of Demonic Ascension, and if they get big, they can just kind of run at them, I feel like, with the long range Zac engage. So I think I'm going to favor Demonic Ascension, but I don't think it's highly one sided either way.
Yeah, it's both comps are built to do what the comp wants to do. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they execute. If gold's even, I think I would favor Demonic Ascension's comp a little bit more.
Right, right. And thank you, Cat Hands and Timberland, both for these subs. We appreciate it, and we'll give you 30 days of love from Valhalla Esports. Client is bugging out. We should be good. Hopefully, we don't have any bugs. Client's been good for us the past couple of weeks. Hopefully, it keeps it up.
I was having some issues ever since downloading Vanguard that my client would randomly disconnect from games.
Right, right. The classic.
Right, just out here putting security quote unquote on my computer, but is causing me problems. Thanks, Riot. Appreciate you.
We'll protect you whether you want us to or not, buddy.
We'll protect you by getting you reported for AFKing in your games. You're welcome.
We'll report you to death or protect you to death. You're welcome. Um, do you know how the Syndra Hui matchup is? I know they both have really long range.
Not specifically. I would assume Syndra has the upper hand just because she can more consistently um have longer range than Hui, whereas Hui's long range is like on a that rotation.
Oh,
What happened?
did something happen? Let's see, early in game. Uh, Looks like they fell out of lobby. Oh. Don't worry, technical difficulties. Not sure what happened, but we'll get back in there.
And just good old Riot jumping in front of that bullet, you know, protecting you at every corner with their Vanguard system. That lobby was not a good lobby, and Riot knows it.
Well, that
Oh,
is
it was a summoner issue.
that's your one free restart as per the rules. Don't do it again. Wink, wink. But yeah, everyone make sure to check your runes, check your masteries, check your summoners, and we can get some action going on. Alright. Now everyone guess really hard what champs you think they're gonna pick. We'll see how good your memory was.
One side was an all pet comp, remember? Ivern, Annie, Zyra, Malzahar, you know.
Don't
Pets.
know. And now the client doesn't have music, so that's kind of weird too.
That's Vanguard once again jumping in front of the bullet. That music is copyrighted. Clearly.
True. Thank you, Vanguard. As always, out here doing the Lord's work.
My only concern with the Vanguard system, especially once you get into higher ranks, is like it takes you forever to queue anyway, and then you get into game, and then it detects somebody as like a scripter or something. Then you have to start.
Right.
Does it like start your queue timer over? I've yet to see how that works.
I mean, I'd assume it does, but I don't fully know.
Or if you're queuing for a low priority position, then it might take you forever to get in games.
Once I get through all the picks, I'll mute us on our side. We'll listen to some music as we wait to get into this game number 1 for some League of Legends action.
Oh, don't do that. Vanguard might jump in front of the bullet.
Oh well. I mean, if it happens, everyone can blame me. But yeah, here's some music while we wait to get into this game.
The nightmare of eternity marches right before your eyes as the ground begins to shake. Ravens fly amongst the sky, battles of great divine, torn hearts of fear and cries. Let the rage of war ignite. We were born to rise. We're gonna rain on your shit, annihilate your villages. We're gonna rain on your shit, plunder off in the hell of it. We're gonna rain on your shit, annihilate your villages. We're gonna rain on your shit, plunder off in the hell of it. We are Vikings!
Look at that timing, right into the loading screen. Valorant not taking the bullet yet, but still has a chance, of course, as we need to load into this game. Think we'll see any kind of invades? Look, we made it. We did it.
If we were to see any invades, I would assume it would be from red team. Just because you've got Swain usually likes to start as E, and then you usually have Darius that starts either Q or E or W.
Right. We do see the pings come out from Demonic Ascension, and it looks like they are moving that way for the bot side invade. 5 point on the side of Shifting Sands Gaming gets the tri-bush ward down, so should spot this out. We'll see if Mockingbird or Copium want to move up and ward that blue. There we see Mockingbird moving for it. And I don't think they knew that was warded, just kind of walked in that bush, said, we don't see anyone, let's leave. So, a slight poke in from the side of Demonic Ascension, but didn't want to go too deep and risk anything dangerous.
Minions have spawned.
And yeah, I'll be interested to see how this mid match plays out. I feel like if Syndra hits a stun, she can get a combo off and do some good damage. If she can't get the stun, the poke I think will be better from Hoi.
Yeah, the poke is definitely more consistent from Hoi, but I think Syndra just has higher damage potential.
Oh, I'm dumb. I forgot they had console on their team. Of course it was Swain, but
Well, we didn't know that for certain. It's
no,
one of the situations.
It was certain once it was console. Come on now.
Listen, from a draft perspective, technically it could have gone anywhere if we exclude what players are on the team.
True. Deity will be upset again if he's watching this on vacation. Screaming once again that console gets to play Swain when he never gets to. I feel like Pharaoh will have better early trades. Once Copium can get some tankiness, it should be safer. But we'll want to see him try to trade early. Then Fell on Senna actually getting some poke down despite being level 1 to level 2. I feel like the Varus Seraphine should have the better poke. They just gotta avoid those all-ins with the E's from Swain.
Yeah, the more that they can avoid getting hit by any of the abilities from Senna Swain, the better, because that'll give them sustain.
Yeah, for sure. We see here actually Cope having a little bit of an HP lead. Minions kind of doing the work for him on Pharaoh. But still it's farmed out. Mid lane looking fairly healthy both sides. They're actually ghosting as he's getting pushed back towards the tower by Copium. Gets the passive stacked, but will have to walk away as he's too close to the tower. Gets the root onto Kittens from console, and the W doesn't land, but gets a counter root as Fell is very low, has to flash away with the heal. Now exhaust comes down on the Swain who ghosted. Beeson trying to flash in, gets the slow, doesn't quite get the kill, and now ghosting himself as they're both very low. It's another root with the Q in, but the E lands, a flash Q! Console with the first blood note on top. Stacks from Darius taking down Avius on that Xin Zhao. Good fights coming across for Demonic Ascension on both sides of the map. Looks like Glizzard wanting to dive the Skarner. But they will back off, play a little safer as they pick up the Scuttlebug. Whew, some action right off the bat. Feeling good for Demonic Ascension.
And it's a little unlucky that Avius wasn't able to pull off anything in that top lane. It's gonna kind of set him back a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it was a close one. Obviously didn't see the actual fight, but Darius' passive is very strong early as the Glizzard jumping on Mockingbird, getting some damage down, but now Avius is here, jumping on Empire for Hire, trying to flash away. Has the slow, but can't quite get in range for the final auto for the kill. Now trying to get Glizzers. Oh, gets him with the E. Or no, the W. Yeah, that's a W.
Yeah, it's a W.
Good kill there from Avius. Unfortunate Empire for Hire got hit by that long range W.
I've always thought it was a weird mechanic after they like changed Xin Zhao way back forever ago, that his W has that like center point where he like
goes really
essentially
far.
lunges. He lunges the spear essentially is what the mechanic is intending to convey.
Right. Yeah, it's been an interesting one, but helps you pick up those kills when people think they're safe, because that center portion goes so far.
See, look at how much damage Skarner did to Darius there without even
Right.
touching him. It's so stupid.
They added that max health buff to the damage, and yeah, it's kind of ridiculous right now. But Pharaoh's still sitting pretty with the farm lead. As long as he doesn't get poked out too much, should be okay. Working towards that level 6. Ooh, a nice E landing on Beeson, get some good poke down at about a third health. Also, the range is pretty long for that like AoE ability.
Yeah, trust me. When I was playing a lot of Shen top, I was
Avius getting
running.
jumped on, getting rooted. Ult comes through for Empire for Hire. Kyle goes to console. Good collapse there by Demonic Ascension near the dragon, and should pick it up as well.
I was running into Skarners constantly, and it's just so obnoxious being a melee into Skarner, just because he does so much damage and he doesn't even have to get anywhere near you.
Yeah, I didn't realize that AoE was so far. I was like, how's that hitting him? Oh, here comes the Ghost. Pharaoh hitting level 6, wanting the all-in. Copium running away. Gets out safe. Don't want to chase too far as the Darius could get ulted under tower. And now the Glizzler looking for these Void Grubs with the mid and support here to help clear him. Cinder trying to poke in, but gets rooted by Senna. And we'll get zoned away. Looking like they're just calling to give these 3.
I feel like the Void Grubs are really broken for if you have Senna on your team, because the little Grublings all have a chance to drop a soul.
Yeah, they give you so many free souls. I think they should not make the small ones give them to you. It'd be a little more fair.
Nah, that would require extra coding. And we don't have the budget for that. We have to buff up Vanguard to protect you.
Yep. Console playing safe while the Senna roamed up and still getting some E stacks off, so getting that free health as well. It's also still wild to me how far that ability goes for Hui. It's like not even on your screen you can hit him.
The execute one?
Yeah. Still getting some trading back between them.
I'm still a little upset with the whole situation where Hui's execute thing, the long range one, does more damage than both Swain and Xerath, and his kit is way more overloaded than both those champions.
Yeah, it's just the new champion syndrome, you know.
It makes me upset for like no apparent reason.
No, I get it. And looking at the farm, Darius getting the hook in, flashes in front to get pulled back with the Skarner. But now we're seeing mid flashing in, Avius picks up the kill and should get out of the tower range. Darius gets the dunk off on Copium, should get the last Q and kills him despite being pulled under tower. Well played Golden Pharaoh for the solo bolo kill.
It almost looked like he got frozen middle, but like the damage applied before the axe hit, that's a little silly.
Tactic woke up and chose to speak facts about Hui to Rue. And it looks like we have Malco with us now as well. How you doing, Malco? If you want to jump in for the shout casting, feel free.
Yes, sir. I was able to finally jump in. Sorry about that, but Pharaoh's looking like he's about to get ganged on immediately from the jungle, but the Darius not afraid. Looking to fight Avius, but Mockingbird is slowly making his way up. Stun, all in, shut down. Pharaoh going to the gray screen as Mockingbird able to secure that kill.
Really great decision to give it to Mockingbird instead of Avius take it, because unfortunately Xin Zhao does fall off eventually.
That's the kind of bait you can expect from your Masters jungler. Just stand there and let your mid laner get the kill. You love it.
There's a joke there that I'm not gonna make.
Something about baiting at Masters.
Something about that.
Just a little something, but we do have the Glizzler here. Okay, not gonna really do much else. Then again, it would have been a wet noodle fight up in that top side there. What is up with these lanes? It's I think the Seraphine's supposed to be on the other side with the center. The center's supposed to switch it, not like this.
Well, Senna and Swain are a good combo because if you hit one route, you can set up all the other routes.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, look at that. Dumb.
Right. That's
Standing
kind of ridiculous.
standing all the way behind his minions, still able to land damage. Crazy. That's a melee champion.
Oh, nice.
Quick land. All the ults landing. Gonna have to use the center, but not gonna be enough. And this is looking like a second kill about to go over to the other side as Shifting Sands is in the right place at the right time. Avius once again donating the kills to his other laners, knowing that he needs to get them ahead in order to be able to win this game. Nicely done by the bottom side and the jungler for the side of Shifting Sands.
For sure, for sure. A fantastic engage. Beeson just landing that ultimate and comboing it with Avius and Kittens with the great. Both ultimate to charm them both, and then the double stun that landed on both enemy bot laners. Really well lined up.
Honestly, I'm actually very surprised that it didn't look like it looked like it was just like maybe like a pixel or two, just ever so close to landing there for the Varus, and that was like a really big setup. All hold on, immediately going right into a second fight here. Golden Pharaoh though caught in between three different people as the Glizzard's going ahead to try to save his top lane, and we got all the healing, the shieldings, but it's not going to be enough as Copium's able to take out Golden Pharaoh. Revenge for that top lane slaying, but Empire for Hire going to be able to get revenge for his top laner as we're going to see more fighting going on. Stunned up, Twitch shot fell, not going to be enough. Trying to escape the wrath, but Mockingbird is looking to take that kill, and the Glizzler looking to fall next as he goes into the passes, the blobs. Avius now all alone, but this time Beeson is here. Not going to give the kill up this time as Avius is able to take that one on the enemy jungler, but it's just going to be more and more. Shifting Sands is looking to take the lead and try to propel themselves forward in this game.
Yeah, really well done. Got the 4th Scuttle bug, which is good because they get the 1 spawn now of the little grublings. But really well turned there by SSG. Looked like one I thought was going to go Demonic Ascension's way, but they played it really well.
SSG is doing a very good job in just like rotating and from what I'm seeing, at least from just jumping in, it's like they're rotating and following on some of the objectives. Even though they're second to the objectives, they're at least making the fights work. Is there anybody here to help out the Glizzler? Just might be, but Beeson and the Kittens might be able to get away there. That was the weirdest interaction I've ever seen in my life. Oh, hold on. Demonic Ascension looking to turn around in the mid lane as Fel is able to take out Beast and Mockingbird. Gonna be able to take out the Glizzard as he goes a little too deep under. Empire for Hire. Gonna take out Kittens as well, trying to get away from Avius. But Console C is now here, and he's looking to fight as he goes ahead and he takes him out, sitting here absorbing so much more. Senna ulti comes out from behind, and we got an under the tower fight as Copium just barely gonna be able to win it as he takes out the Golden Pharaoh up in the top side, and Console C now being chased down by Avius. Avius wanting a little bit more, but it's just gonna be the execute as Empire for Hire is able to take him out, shut down, and unleashed power. Mockingbird, so much scrappiness. They heard that I was on the cast, and now they're all looking to fight once again. They just immediately picked up.
Yeah, they heard you were around. They said, "Oh yeah, we can fight again now."
No joke, I literally jumped in. It was like 1 kill to 2 kills, and all of a sudden now there's 19 kills in the game. What happened?
Yeah, they knew we had the chill cast when it was me and Tactic, and they're like, "Alright, we'll take it slow." Oh, Malco's here? Let's go.
Oh yeah, nope, never mind. We could just keep fighting. Nope, he's here. Cool, we got this. We got this now.
Actually, really good that Empire for Hire landed that execute. I thought Avius was gonna live and pick up another kill there, but well played by Mockingbird to clean it up afterwards.
And that's if anything, if Avius was sitting there with Triumph as well, there would have been a potential for him just to re-heal and just re-engage. That could have actually been really, really bad for DA, but overall the fight was even.
For sure. And looking like they're going for this dragon. No real pressure, so giving it 1-1 now, as it'll be a Hextech dragon game. So here come all the portals. gold's still pretty even. They've been keeping up with the kill gold, with the plate gold, as far as Demonic Ascension is concerned. So, still a very close game. Anyone's to take at this point.
I think for the overall, overall with DA's comp, I kind of like it better in the sense of just like how well they can easily team fight, but just the ability to keep catching them in and out. B-Sin rooted up, going ahead, trying to fight back. Ultimate's being used as console C is going to be charmed up and dragged towards the Seraphine, but not going to be able to do any other types of follow-up damage from the other side, so they're just going to have to back off.
Sure. Meanwhile, Demonic Ascension looking for that Rift Herald. That's the name. So many Rift things now.
Rift Sculler, Rift Herald.
And they're picking up. Gave it over to the Darius, so they're hoping he can get it pushed in and get that top lane push going.
It's very funny to see that though. There's still a decent farm difference and everything, so it's mostly.
You are right. You are right.
It's mostly pretty even, it seems, from the side of the top, at least from the top lane sides. But like, because I'm actually surprised to see Skarner still able to kind of like, even though it has to be under the tower with a dragon with the suppressor, and it's still kind of like, he still has the ability to fight the Darius, even though sitting at about almost 40 farm down.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But luckily when you're the tank champ, like even if you're down a fair amount of farm, a lot of times it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Plus, with Skarner's kit being able to do things to Darius without getting anywhere close to him.
Right, here comes the ghost.
Hold on, Ghost. Apprehend. Gonna bring him in, trying to get him to flash. Both being used by both. Was that a miss there? Or he's just sitting there waiting. Shield coming in, dragging him into the turret, but the bleed gonna be enough. Didn't even need to continue. Knew to turn around, and now the absolute fight. Console C Mockingbird going unstoppable as he's able to clip those birds' wings and send them back to the gray screen. I'm actually, you know, considering that this is also a Hextech Drake game, I'm actually very scared for the side of DA if they aren't able to secure this soul just from the passive alone that it can give. I think it would really benefit people like Seraphine, like B-Sin on the Varus, especially someone like Mockingbird. That'll be a really big one. Slight engage here, gonna force the flash out of B-Sin, but it's not gonna be enough as the ulti comes out of Seraphine, completely goes wide as both of them are able to step it out. Glizzler going back in, but Avius is here and he's gonna take out Fell. Looking away and didn't realize what was going on. TP coming in, gonna be able to stop him, stunned up, and now here comes the passive. You guys tried going in, but it ended up backfiring as 4 members are here from the side of SSG, and it's gonna be the Glizzler going down. And now they're looking to take the lead in this game.
Yeah, that Avius W almost missing Fell, barely picks it up, and then they get the second kill onto Zach. Good rotations from them.
Oh, Hui trying to get the execute onto Kittens, not going to be able to do so, but I think that would have been a kill right there if he was able to get it.
I feel like SSG is doing a really good job of like spreading their gold.
I think a lot of that comes from Avius, but we do have the Swain ultimate pulled in, trying to get them all away, but now Avius able to escape after pushing them away with the ultimate, and we do have the Skarner coming in out of nowhere. Oh, flash, trying to use the stun, trying to block up someone, but not going to be able to land onto anybody, and instead the field, the little breakup field from Hui, able to go ahead and stop everybody from progressing any forward. I really like Hui on this team here, being able to also help with zoning, just like the Swain, but I feel like the cooldowns are just a lot more rotatable.
Turns out when you have 9 spells, you can do basically everything.
9 spells that for some reason does just about at least one different mechanic somehow in this game.
Right.
You got execute, you got shielding, you got massive damage, I think you have a DOT on one of his skills. So yeah, it's actually crazy. And Mockingbird pushing up too much further from this turret, but able to use the Scatter the Weak to stick away from the Glizzard. Glizzard now having to wait for any other engage. But Mockingbird feeling pretty confident on this 5-0 on this Syndra. Jeez, I didn't even notice that. Oh. Hui is here though. Mockingbird able to use the minions to go, not Mockingbird, but the Glizzler able to use the minions to go ahead and try to bring Mockingbird back in, but not going to be able to secure that kill for his mid laner, and instead just going to have to let the enemy Syndra walk away.
Like Pharaoh's just looking to keep pushing this top side as the Hex Dragon is up, so we'll have to see how much each team wants to pressure for that as well.
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty interesting that Pharaoh is gonna keep going. I think he's starting to learn the Hailstrom school of top lane, and just realizing that he is extremely powerful. He's actually very powerful on this Darius, and most people on their team, even if you send up the Fed Syndra, it'll be extremely difficult for her to be able to combat him. So I think it's actually really wise as the Glizzler getting caught up, Copium going in, able to suppress. He was going airborne, but not able to escape his console C, able to use the ultimate. Not gonna be enough to be able to save the Glizzler as the Glizzler goes down, but Copium gonna lose his life to the ADC of DA as he continues to chase, looking for everybody, but the ult now running out. More people coming in, Mockingbird dominating as Unleashed Power takes out the way. We were trying to look for more, but we still have 4 members up from the side of SSG, and now this first Hextech Drake going to them.
It's a little unfortunate that Pharaoh came all this way just to back.
Yeah. He stopped learning from my school of, oh, the team's fighting, I'll just keep pushing, it's fine.
In theory, Darius should be able to split push.
That's unfortunate.
Without being too heavily punished if his team plays it slow, but
yeah,
tough when your team's a little behind.
That's when you just keep pushing, and you just, as you're pushing the whole time, you're like, don't fight, don't do anything, they can have that drag, it's fine, we don't need it.
Yo, Avius, I'm loving watching this Xin Zhao play. He's just literally everywhere right now. It is up. I know that probably has something to do partially with his rank, but no, it's just absolutely crazy to just watch this jungler kind of just be everywhere. And starting from, like, he was literally 2-2 when I jumped in, and now he's 5-3-10, and it's absolutely showing, like, it's actually making a difference on the map. But you did mention before that Xin Zhao does eventually fall off. But I think that this team doesn't have to really worry about that, as I think Hailstrom mentioned earlier, the gold allocation by Avius to help his laners get some gold into their pockets, so they're able to scale up while he starts to power down.
No, exactly. They've been doing a really good job of spreading the gold to Varus, to Syndra, and to Xin Zhao. They're making sure everybody has gold in their pockets to build items. It's really good for them.
The other nice thing for Xin is, even though, like, his damage falls off a little bit, all the damage dealers for Demonic Ascension are mostly longer range champs, so his ult will be very effective in those team fights, keeping him from getting hit for a while.
No, for sure.
Oh, most definitely. And again, as I mentioned before, this Hextech Drake right now for the side of Shifting Sands is probably going to be one of the most important Drakes for them to get the cooldowns, plus all the extra, like, damage that they just get from attacking more and more. From actually what you would call is like a semi-poke slash, you know, kind of anti-engage comp. Because if you jump in on Copium or you jump in on Avius, one of them is pressing a button that's either pulling you into their team and getting you killed or backing you away. So it's very, very hard to even engage onto these poke-like champions when you're DA, because they have this actual legitimate peel that makes it really, really hard for them.
Pharaoh trying to come hit this tower and kill it.
Yeah, learning again from the school. Once again, learn from the school of Hailstrom, with Empire in the wrong place at the wrong time, as 2 people are able to catch him, and Mockingbird goes immediately. Is that legendary? No, it's not legendary just yet. But Golden Pharaoh, loving to get these solo dolos as he's constantly chasing down Copium. Every time he sees him, he kills him. And we do have the Glizzard, though, taking in too. But Avius is here to help. Big Seraphine ulti able to land on the 2 members as they're able to take out more. Glizzard now going into the passive, gonna have to be able to take out. Avius going on a killing spree as he takes out Console C. B-Sin now getting that gold on him as he gets his 3rd kill of the game and is able to take out the Glizzler. And more as SSG starts to push forward, they start to advance their lead.
Yeah, for sure. Pharaoh getting another tower bot and pressuring it forces out the TP from Mockingbird, but Mockingbird really good on these long-ranged AP carries where he stays very safe, as we see 7-0-3 currently.
That's, oh man, Mockingbird and Avius right now are really showing up, and I want to definitely give some credit to Kittens too. Just these Seraphine ultis that I've seen, there was like only one that I've seen that was just like, oh, that missed, but it's because the other 2 members literally sidestepped it, like they were prepared. But Empire for Hire wasn't prepared, as he has to fear him away. Avius able to go ahead and get the jump on him, letting him know that I'm always here. But it was just really funny because Kittens has been landing these absolutely insane ultimates, whether it's onto just one person, like their carries, like Console has landed on consistently, or it ends up landing on 2 or 3 members at once, pulling them all in, allowing more of the CC to layer on. Oh man, this is what I was talking about. Mockingbird's either gonna have a forced flash, or they're gonna have to use the Scatter Weak to try to get away the moment that they find the face of the Darius. They even if you send the 7-0 and 3, she might not be able to survive. So
Yeah.
it's the
Very sneaky
Darius is dangerous.
with the bush, forcing out the flash. Smart play, but unlucky for Pharaoh, the flash was up, so doesn't get to get that juicy shutdown.
I think that's good for his team though, because the Syndra has been utilizing that flash I've seen offensively a lot, trying to just jump in and engage using the Scatter the Weak plus a ball. So it actually is pretty good because now you have one less thing that Mockingbird has to do to be able to engage. Even though they do have decent engage on their team with the Skarner and the Xin Zhao, it still shows that they have some troubles engaging if Mockingbird is constantly using the flash Scatter the Weak.
Trying to sneak this Baron, they saw Xin Zhao was on the bot side. Seems like they know now, so smart to back off. But good job pressuring when you know the enemy jungler is on the opposite side of the map.
Where is the... I know this is a 3k gold lead that we're looking at, but where's the majority of the gold sitting on? Is that mostly on Mockingbird, I would say, for the enemy team? Or is it more just spread out evenly for the gold lead? Oh, man, that sucks. They tried getting the Baron, and now the Drake is going over to the side of SSG. As that was actually a really smart move, just rotating up like that on the sneaking of the Baron, forcing them off the objective, and now they can claim the other objective on the other side of the map, bringing it over to Soul Point.
The hotkey to show the gold is not working right now for some reason. Thank you, right? So,
No, that's Vanguard at work. You don't want to see that gold. That gold's cursed.
yeah, the gold would be cheating. So they're just trying to keep us from getting kicked for being suspicious, you know.
Oh wait,
Exactly.
Vanguard has officially gone through for us now?
I don't think. I think it's still in PBE. I'm just memeing.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, either way, oh man,
no.
Avius fell. You kept walking. Were you not looking in the right direction? Oh, trying to get away. No flash, no abilities. Absolutely just gonna have to take that death fell going to the great screen as Avius is able to take him out.
Yeah, unfortunate. Just trying to walk and get some vision down, and you walk into a big Xin Zhao.
Yep, and that was the call for the Baron now, as 3 members are up here and on it. I do like seeing that Mockingbird is trying to stop Pharaoh from being able to do anything, and that's actually pretty good. Now, Pharaoh trying to rotate up. They do know that they're on that Baron, but I don't think Pharaoh's going to be able to get up there in time. Can they at least, like, somehow stop this? 3,000 health, just ever so ticking down, now down to 2,000, ever so lower, 1,000, blue team, able to take it as the Glizzard tries to attempt to go ahead and get in there, but the bounce house being activated in the middle of 3 members as Copium is now fighting them off. Console caught in between 3, Copium gonna lose his life as Golden Pharaoh goes on a killing spree. Now, gonna have to use the Varus ultimate to try to stop the chase as they go back in. Avius now looking for a target, looking for one of their members, but they're all split as Kittens get caught by the Golden Pharaoh, having to use the ulti, flash out, jumping in, Mockingbird going legendary as the Unleashed Power is able to take out Golden Pharaoh, and B-Sin is able to take out Fel going on a killing spree. Avius now looking for more, chasing them down, but the side of SSG is now pushing with the Baron down the mid lane and looking to push into this base.
Yeah, really well played fight by them. Good call to get that Baron. No, they had time to get it. Blizzard wanted to try for that steal, but couldn't quite get there in time.
Yep, and this is looking kind of dangerous now. 24 seconds on Pharaoh, 15 seconds on Fel. They are currently, this is definitely a guaranteed end hit at the very least for the side of SSG, and this is not how I expected this to actually go.
I think it, in a, like, again, in a ideal world, the Demonic Ascension team would have been allowed to scale, but Avius, like you mentioned earlier, has had really good map rotations and just showing up everywhere, and he's been handing off gold where he needs to, taking some gold here and there. So I mean, I think a lot of this has to boil down to Avius's presence on the map and Mockingbird not dying. Also has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, for
Quite
sure.
literally. I think for now, what this is gonna end up being is now just a matter of potential. I don't think that DA is completely out. If they can get a really good team fight, that'll definitely make a difference for them. But right now, it's just looking really hard. You got all this gold spread out Mockingbird looking kind of hard to get on top of and kill. He literally just unleashes on somebody, and it's just an immediate blow up. He catches any of your carries, it's probably them literally going to the gray screen immediately out of the fight. So this is looking like a very big uphill battle for the red side currently.
Yeah, it's like they need to somehow find that pick on Mockingbird, but they're just so far ahead now. And then if Avius is there, he's diving on the carries anyways. Makes it really hard for Demonic Ascension to play out these fights.
And we see them now. SSG looking to push into more of this, more into the base of DA. Unfortunately, not going to be able to. Golden Pharaoh though, caught behind Avius, gonna go ahead and be able to start engaging onto him now as he's caught between two different members of Console C and Golden Pharaoh. But now, Console C gonna go ahead and try to take him out, taking literally, as you said, no damage. But now three members here gonna be able to help get some of that damage down. Try to stick on a Console C, but shut down as Fel is able to take that kill. Decent place for that kill to actually go to over to the Senna, as Senna starts to scale with a lot of that damage. But we do see the bot tower now taken, trying to get the suppression, gonna merely miss, but Golden Pharaoh now having trying to fight three members exhausted as Mockingbird goes officially legendary 9-0 on this Syndra, as B-Sin now going ahead and going unstoppable, taking out the Hui, and they're gonna keep pushing down more. No Baron buff, but there is still so much minions able to push down in such long death timers. This is looking like SSG's first game. Yep,
Yeah,
and that's another
like
kill
it.
going right over to Mockingbird.
Really well played by them. Mockingbird playing safe, being the unkillable Demon King. Avius setting up his team for success. Really well played in game number 1.
I definitely agree. Very well. Wait, we gotta wait for the Nexus to. Hold on. Wait for the Nexus to blow up first.
There
All right,
we go.
there we go. 50 gold to Mockingbird. Now we can say very well played over to SSG as they're able to take that game 1.
I think the
Now we can
lesson.
see all the gold.
No, that's once again cursed gold. You now downloaded a virus onto your system. Congratulations.
Whoopsies. Yep, top damage from Avius, and really smart play also, as you guys stated, when he was giving over the kills to his teammates. Just really helped set up his carries for where they needed to be, and just never really gave Demonic Ascension a chance to get back in the game. Pharaoh looking good in that top lane, but everywhere else was going the way of Shifting Sands.
Definitely very well played too, Pharaoh. I thought that was actually like that's really what I thought they were just gonna stick to is Pharaoh just constantly split pushing and trying to like bring more pressure to him, which the Darius was very much capable of doing. I'm very surprised that they didn't keep to that strategy, but something must have maybe happened in the comms that caused like maybe a breakdown of the communication. But I think if they tighten that up a little bit in game, I think DA can definitely eke out a win in this game too. But the way that it was played by Avius and Mockingbird, particularly, which then allowed the rest of the team to just follow suit, even though Copium fell behind, it still didn't really matter. The Skarner right now. I remember when LS was talking about the new Skarner, and it was just like, if these numbers are insane for Skarner, like he's gonna be absolutely busted. And from what I'm seeing, like that proved it. Like this last game kind of proved it to me that a Skarner doesn't necessarily need to get ahead. A Skarner doesn't necessarily need to be the absolute like end all be all of the game. But as long as he has some items, he'll still be able to do something to you. So you gotta watch out for that.
It's kind of like a more modern Malphite where you're not necessarily picking Skarner to win the lane. You're picking Skarner to kind of mitigate the lane and then also be still a useful tool to your team.
What kind of adjustments would you want to see out of Demonic Ascension after that game? Would try to take game number 2 back for themselves?
At least kind of based off of how the game unfolded, I think they need a comp that takes more initiative. Because a lot of their damage was really kind of slow. Because you have Swain that kind of wants a drawn out fight, and Senna that also kind of wants a drawn out fight. Um, and I mean, while it's kind of good if the Darius is fed in that situation, which he was, but the problem is that you have a decision to make when you're in that position as Darius to either, like we mentioned earlier, stay on the split push and cause the enemy team to react to you, or join up with your team. But the big problem with their team comp was their only reliable engage was Zac. Oh, or Darius getting on the flank was probably the only other option they really had. So I would like something that would be a little bit more proactive instead of reactive.
Right. And looks like they got into the next draft as I'll jump over there. They started their bands going. This time, Demonic Ascension on the blue side, Shifting Sands on the red side. Taking away that Jinx and Zinzao this time. Do not want to see that again after that big performance game 1. Shifting Sands taking out Voli and Trundle. Don't want to give Trundle to Pharaoh as he was trying to do some split pushing last game.
Yeah, if Pharaoh wants to be split pushing, I think he just needs to like really lean into that and just pick a champion that really wants to be doing that, or pick a champion that is better at um catching their back line. Because Darius relies a little bit too much on positioning and Ghost to do anything.
Demonic banning away that Skarner. Don't want to give away that kind of free tank champ. And the Asol come down from Shifting Sands with the first pick, Maokai. Still a good flex pick. Could go jungle, top, or support. Good engage, good ultimate for both engaging and counter engaging, really.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Maokai's kit. Ever since it got changed forever ago, it's just so versatile as a champion.
But it used to just be AoE tank for everyone. Yeah, that old ultimate was kind of funny. Picking up the Braum for Shifting Sands. Nice protection with the shield and good engage with the passive and the ultimate as well.
That actually is a really good counter. Really good. Like the moment you see Maokai, it's like, oh yeah, if everyone just stands behind Braum, quite literally, one of his game quotes, you're gonna be able to deflect that. I do like seeing that type of stuff. And then the Zaya is gonna be the next pickup. If that's the case,
Yep.
that'd actually be pretty dope to me because I think that's a really good high like damage DPS 80 carry that if played well will scale into the game very very well.
Yep, has the safety with the ultimate and
Yep.
roots from all the feathers. The Swain pickup once again. If they do pick it up, probably going for console once again. I'd hope for the build he'd look for a Leandri sooner or something. It felt like it was lacking in damage that last game, but it might just been because they were behind anyways.
Yeah,
think-
unfortunately, Swain kind of relies on Rylai's to keep people in your ult so that it stays active. So the Malignance Rylai's, I think, is always the correct build path.
Yeah, you
I
definitely need the Rylai's, but yeah. Malignus is also very good.
I feel
And the
like it
Senna
depends
once again.
on.
Ooh,
Oh,
and the
that's
Silas
nice.
picking it up immediately before they can ban it away. So now Silas gets a Swain out for himself.
Yeah, Silas has access to 3 good ults out of the gate. It's kind of looking pretty juicy from a Silas perspective so far.
And the Jack's banned away by Shifting Sands Gaming, just trying to take away more of the strong side laners. Ornn, another kind of just solid tank to enable your team with. And the Mordekaiser has that strong ultimate now that can't be cleansed once you're in Brazil. No longer denying your ticket once you're in the airport.
You can't QSS it anymore?
Nope, can't QSS. You can't cleanse it at all once you're in it. You can only block it before as it's being cast.
So, like, for example, Ornn
When you see the
W
Or W
would.
could block it.
Like when you see the mace pointing at you, that's when you would have to channel the cleanse, correct?
I don't think you can cleanse it to block it, but like if you're a Fiora, you could repost it to block it.
Also, like Silver E can't do it anymore, or
Sivir E would block it because it's a spell shield.
okay.
But like if you're Olaf, as Bulgaria is saying, if you're in the ultimate and then you ult, you will not come out. But if you're ulted before he tries to ult you, then you won't go into it.
So, yeah, if QSS doesn't work, you would have to have an ability that says, I cannot be debuffed or CC'd in any manner. So like Ornn
Yeah.
W is the best example.
Yeah.
You'd have to have an ability that does that
Ooh,
to
the Aurelia.
prevent it from occurring.
Aurelia
Okay.
and Gnar. Very interesting.
Unless that's a mid lane Aurelia.
Could be mid lane. That's true.
I wouldn't want. I actually have seen Aurelius go into Gnar. It's not a terrible matchup,
Yeah,
but
you just dash away whenever Mega Gnar is gonna come up, and you try to jump in and stun him while he's mini. With a Yone, so could be Aurelia, Yone, and top or mid respectively. It's kind of.
I'm glad to see Demonic took my advice. They have a lot more initiative with this comp.
And Lissandra, pretty good into either pick for the mid lane. You just have that ultimate to hold him in place while you let your team kill him. So I like that.
the
I like that
Aurelia is
counter pick.
definitely going mid, and the Yone's going top side. I can almost guarantee it, just based on the players.
There's no Garen in this game. What do you mean? I didn't award points yet. I can't do it till I'm off the draft screen, but I will do that as soon as we get off it, and I'll start up the vote for game number 2.
Right now I have a big concern that even though Demonic picked an overall like more initiative comp, my main concern is the fact that not only did they also pick 2 additional decent ultimates to give to Silas, but this is once again one of those teams that kind of needs to go in.
Right.
Yeah, so
The
while
Demonic comp's very like solo queue to me. At least for like the top and mid picks.
I can see where you would get that idea. I do like Demonic's adjustment. However, Shifting Sands has a great comp to kind of counter a lot of what Demonic Ascension's comp wants to do. Because you got your Lissandra, you got your Braum to kind of like get people off of your carries.
Blitz, could you over? Did you vote in it, Tactic? All right, there we go. Somebody
did not.
the prediction. Thank goodness.
There we go.
All right, I won't vote in this one, so that I can award the points. I forgot that's how it worked.
I have a self rule since I'm a admin that I don't vote on these things because especially if it's like a pre-played game.
Oh yeah.
Then technically I know the answer.
we just don't do the votes on the pre-played games because most people know by the time we get to them. But if you're not voting on them, then I can still vote and get my gambling in.
I'm definitely gonna end up voting on it. My big thing is this is why I personally try to avoid
my own team.
I like to just basically kind of avoid watching any of the games, especially as a caster. Like if I'm gonna be casting those games later on, it feels like it would be very boring to already know the results for the most part. Like it'd just be really hard to cast those types of games. So trust me, and I know there's other people who probably who do the same thing. But yeah, no, it just seems so disingenuous to gamble points on a game that everyone kind of already knows the results.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the position where I've had to cast games that I played in just because there wasn't anybody else available. And it's just really hard because it's like I can't say things that would give away what's going to happen. So I have to like be very ambiguous, very vague with my with how I say things.
Yeah, that's why we try to avoid having people cast their own games, but as you said, sometimes people just aren't around.
It's happened like a handful of times. Not too many, but it's happened a couple times where I'd had to cast games that I played and it's like I can't tell you what's gonna happen, but
something might. I feel like this game, if Demonic Ascension doesn't get a lead in like mid or top at least, it's gonna be very tough for them. Like Silas has so many good ults to pick from for this game, and they just have a strong team fight overall.
My issue with the last game was the fact that DA, if their mid and their top side fell significantly behind later on, especially behind like Mockingbird and Avius, to the point though that also their bot lane really couldn't do much. So it wasn't like I always keep making this comparison, but season 2 when I was on Goat Kings, our bot lane would majority of the time be on fire sometimes, but then it's like, oh, our top side's actually doing very well. We come together in team fights, we can then win. But it's like it wasn't really coming together for them in that sense, and they were still trying to play the split push comp with trying to come together with team fights and then drawing Pharaoh out. But like if you draw Pharaoh down, like shouldn't he have TP instead of Ghost? It would make more sense if you want Pharaoh to come and help you guys with team fights, have him on TP. Because then at least he can make it there. But instead, you guys had him having a back for 8 seconds, come all the way back from top lane down to bot lane, and we saw multiple times where he was coming to help the team, and then he was useless to be there. Maybe he cleaned up a fight, but like that was the most he could do. So if they want him to be playing cross map, they need to have him on something more proactive, especially on a more proactive summoner like TP, and they need to be able to allow him to split. But that's also going to be dependent upon the rest of the map being able to play safe against this team that only not has the ability to engage, but also has the ability to completely disengage and possibly even out damage you currently, even in this early game.
It's kind of a double-edged sword when you're when you're Darius in that situation where you have to make that call, because Ghost is such a strong summoner for Darius to have for the laning phase. But as soon as laning phase ends, the value of Ghost goes down a little bit. It's not necessarily a dead summoner, especially after they nerfed it to where Ghost doesn't get the refreshed duration anymore. It's not as valuable outside of lane for Darius as it used to be, but I I get what you're saying, where it's like you sometimes have to weigh the value of a selfish summoner spell and a more team oriented summoner spell sometimes.
Which, don't get me wrong, I do like the fact that he had the ghost, that he was able to rush down onto the Darius, on the rush him down as Darius, and having the ability to be able to do so. But it's still like, again, as powerful as it was, it didn't really make too much of a difference once he did appear in the fights, because most time he was appearing, it was literally after maybe 1 or 2 members have already gone down, and now you have this Darius attempting to 1v3, and in some situations it almost worked. But at the end of the day, though, it still led to giving up more gold to other people on the enemy team, and then eventually it just snowballs. So I think a very big thing that they just need to do is, if they're gonna be having him split, let him split. If they're gonna be having him push, just like have him push. But if you guys need him for team fights, think about what is needed from him. And that's what it seemed like what was going on, is a lot of, hey, Pharaoh, you probably, like, at that moment, honestly, I think Pharaoh was their most powerful member on their team, and they're probably constantly calling him like, oh, we need you. And it's like, well, if you guys are having him go against the game plan that he has, your macro is going to start to absolutely explode from within.
Yeah, it's one of the ones, depending on how hard you want to commit to it. Like with Darius, you almost always go Flash Ghost, because you have that early game pressure. You just got to make sure your team's aware, so they know for later in the fight. It's like, I cannot TP there, so I'm gonna keep pushing.
It's one of those situations when you're that player that opts into the selfish summoner. You are the one that's responsible for communicating to your team what your intention is, and then on top of that, it's also your responsibility that if your team needs you in a fight, you need to either commit to assisting your team or commit to continue to split push.
Exactly.
Because when you have that selfish summoner, you can't take those cross map plays like we saw the last game, where he backed from top lane even though nobody was really contesting him, to come down to dragon, and they lose dragon anyway, and he didn't even like do anything, and he just backed. So he lost a lot of map pressure to basically accomplish nothing.
SSG member with SSG skin.
I just thought that was pretty funny that you got the Zaya and the Gnar both playing SSG. It would have been really fun to see. I believe the support for that year was Rakan. So yeah, that would actually been really cool to be able to see like all the SSGs. I hope they do it one season where they actually play that comp back. I think it actually could still play to this very day. So that would be pretty cool. Hold on, Avius. Jungle Silas. It's actually really funny. I don't know why I didn't even think of that earlier, but I feel like this is going to be pretty interesting to watch from the side of SSG, with the Silas being in the jungle this time around.
With the showing Avius had the previous game with him being everywhere, Silas, the way that he operates in the jungle right now actually leans really heavily into that notion that you're just everywhere and just fighting all the time. So it's gonna really depend on if Avius has the same results as last game.
As long as he's able, if he's able to keep that up, which I feel like that's something like pathing, unless the Glizzler is able to completely disrupt the pathing of Avius, that's the only way he's gonna that's gonna kind of change. But if Avius is able to, stay on have a consistent good start, I think it'll be really difficult for them to get around this Silas just being everywhere. And I feel like personally, just the fact that he can stick onto somebody very easily is also what's gonna make it kind of difficult to go up against this team. But I think overall, though, especially from the voting, we saw that the predictions, it was actually a lot more even. I believe it was like 52 to 49. It was like some random thing. But like the results was very, very close. So it's already showing from just the audience in general that these two teams right now in this game are probably going to be much closer than what we anticipated.
Empire got that level 2. He's looking for a little aggression. Along with Pharaoh. So, trying to push those leads. They're going to have to be safe though once Avius has time to gank. Because I think it's going to be looking mid and top a whole lot.
I think I actually like seeing Pharaoh up in the top side this time around. Because it being kind of like an island type of game, it's all about mostly who can really out-brawl the other person. And I think for the sake of, hold on, Avius is pathing around Empire though. Gonna force the flash out of Lissandra, but the flash being forced out of two different members. Gonna go ahead and try to get a little bit more. He wants to go for it, but Avius with the first blood, not wanting to risk his mid laner's life, and instead gonna end up taking it for himself. Already there like he was before, showing the remnants of the first game. So good job from the side of Shifting Sands to be able to secure that first blood.
I thought Empire was just going to get that kill with the QQ once the stun landed, but I never really saw that second Q go through. I'm not sure what happened, but well played by Avius to be there to support the mid lane.
At first, Avius was gonna keep rotating to his jungle. I'm glad to see that he didn't just say, screw my laner, and then rotated back and kept going about his day. He saw what was going on and was like, okay, I need to come around. Found that little pixel of the rock where he could flash over the wall and was able to chase down onto Empire, allowing them to get that kill. So it was actually very well done by Avius to keep paying attention, because some junglers usually would just be like, okay, I already looked at your lane, I'm gonna keep looking where I'm going, instead of continuing to pay attention, especially knowing that the health bars are so low like that. That does up, and this time the Glizzler though here making a rotation. Mockingbird going ahead and taking a lot of damage. It's really hard. I feel like it is still very hard to fight against Empire on this Aurelia.
Yeah, once Aurelia stacks her passive, just the attack speed and extra damage is kind of ridiculous. But do have to be safe with enough CC on the jungler in the area.
Oh man, yep. Direct camera kind of gave it away that there was nothing else going on as Bsin gets rooted. I think the Xayah is having a little bit of a hard time against this Swain Senna, which, I mean, that's pretty good for them. They want to make sure that this bot lane's having a hard time. Gonna force the flash out of Bsin as Console is really pressing hard right now onto this bot lane.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing with Xayah in that matchup is her range is just so low in comparison to Senna Swain.
Avius caught in the middle of two members. Console C gonna be able to drop him and take that kill. Bsin gonna be dropped by Fel as he flashes over the wall to get the extra auto attack. Not gonna be able to get anything else more as Kittens is being dragged away. Gonna force the flash out of Kittens, but Console C is here, taking a lot of turret damage. But the Glizzler going in under the tower and behind might be able to get taken out. Yes, he does. Kittens is able to take that kill, but we do see more go over to the side of DA. Nicely done for them being able to follow up with those extra kills, even though they had to give up one themselves.
What up, perfect?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see the interaction between Senna autos and Braum Shield, because the auto attack technically originates from the champion, not from her. So like so his shield doesn't technically block Senna autos because of how her autos work. She's not like actually auto attacking you.
If you put it backwards, would it block them?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a weird
That's
one.
weird. I thought it was he flashed over and just the auto was slow enough, the shield fell before it actually went off.
No, if you were to watch that fight back again, he had the shield in the right direction, and Senna was still autoing the Xayah.
Yeah. That's
Oh
kinda-
yeah,
that's
Senna
kinda
is one
wild.
of those weird ones.
It's just
'Cause,
how
like-
her auto is coded. It doesn't like act like an actual auto attack.
It's more like a beam or something like that, kind of. It's really strange, but like
It's kind of like how Lux ult interacts with Wind Wall and Braum shield.
Yeah.
It's not technically a projectile.
Senna doesn't auto. That's right. Senna never autos.
Senna doesn't auto. I mean,
She attacks
Kind
your
of, no?
soul with her cringe gameplay.
You guys are getting paid. Oh, he misses the jump off the head.
wait. Oh, that's unfortunate, but Copium's still gonna go ahead and try to attempt to fight this out. I honestly, this is what I do. I think I was saying this earlier, and I completely forgot to actually mention it. But I really do like the fact that they do have Pharaoh on, like, in the top side, and the reason why is because he's allowed to play the types of champions that he really likes to play is these dually solo queue type of champions. And so I think this was the perfect role for him, catching out Avius, but now you're caught in between three members, going to be able to utilize the ultimate, but still no, Pharaoh having a flash, but might not be able to get away. The Wallop going to miss up in that top side, but we do have Empire roaming up, but also following right behind him is going to be Mockingbird. We do have a little bit of fighting going on as Kittens nearly gets caught out in the mid side, but Empire for Hire going to go ahead and jump right onto Avius. Avius going to have to flash out to be able to dodge out on the stun, jumping in onto them. Copium now being almost dropped by Empire for Hire, but Mockingbird is now here, but they don't realize that there's two members as Mockingbird's able to drop the Golden Pharaoh. Now gonna have to try to run away, but Avius comes back in, and there's gonna be more fighting as well. Right now, Empire for Hire gets dropped, and the Glizzler sees nothing else but a gray screen as well, as Copium is able to drop them. The top side once again starting to set on fire, but this bot side now trying to make something happen as they want to be strong for their side on DA.
That was honestly a really unlucky turn of events for Demonic Ascension, because it was looking really good for them, but then all of a sudden it wasn't good for them anymore.
I actually feel really bad for DA at that moment, because I was just like, oh snap, like Pharaoh. I honestly thought Pharaoh had the 1v2 in that moment, and it did actually force like Avius's flash. It did all these other things, but then all of a sudden you have Mockingbird, right place, right time. I'm telling you, Mockingbird and Avius right now are working on some kind of weird wavelength that is causing them to be able to carry these games between the two of them. And even though you see like the bot side on DA is doing better than the bot side of SSG, right now you're scared of this mid lane and this jungler who are going to start roaming together a lot, as we saw in the previous game. And then if Kittens is able to just start roaming on this Braum and able to get away from BSIN, allowing BSIN to level up, get more levels and things, we're going to start seeing this Xayah scale up significantly faster than this Swain, and it's going to become an absolute tear for the side of SSG.
They do have a
What
slight gold lead for Demonic Ascension, despite being slightly down in kills.
And that definitely has to go. I think they have a plate down in the bot side, if I remember correctly. They have 2 plates down in bot, so that's the reason why they were able to get that. But hold on, Avius is now here. Empire for Hire, I believe he ended up missing the ulti. No, he just never had it. But the Maokai ult coming down, and Mockingbird gonna get slain by the enemy mid laner as Empire for Hire is able to take that kill. Gonna be able to also push off B-Sin as he gets rooted and tossed up. Feathers getting called out, but Console's here with the ultimate, able to get them to stick on. Exhausted by the enemy, but Avius is now here to help his team out as Console is slowly getting dropped. But the health is being absorbed too much. He's able to heal, and Senna able to help keep him alive. Stops Console from dropping, but Mockingbird gonna be able to take that kill. Flash going out as the ultimate is used, but not gonna be enough as he's able to just barely walk away with less than 5% HP. B-Sin not gonna end up losing his life overall in that entire fight, but DA still coming out stronger in the overall win.
I think it'd be really scary if Shifting Sands decides to just have Kittens roam with Avius, because I think that would just be so much CC and damage.
Like that's actually what I was kind of concerned about early on. Is wait, they just immediately knew they were getting this Drake. I'm surprised that so many committed to come down here just to kill them after the Drake. They could have just went anywhere else. But the Glizzler, unfortunately, probably gonna end up losing his life as he tries to take it. But Copium able to grab that kill off of that side. He did use the TP to come down there, able to get that kill for himself. But you just kind of left the Yone up there to his own devices now.
Yeah, a lot used to get 1 kill, so good they got the kill, but we'll have to see how it plays out in the next coming fights.
Okay, Empire
getting
is...
poked out.
Yeah, that was actually kind of crazy. Once he dodged out on... Once Mockingbird was able to dodge out on the stun, it was a very easy time for him to just go ahead and just start poking down Empire. Yep, getting the root there, gonna get the stun, but I don't think Empire's gonna try to re-engage back there with only a Vamp Scepter.
You never know.
True, it's Aurelia.
Although if
Aurelia
he did, he
does
would
do
just
Aurelia
get Lissandra ulted, so wouldn't be the best time for him.
Yep, and Lissandra being at full health, that would have definitely not been... Honestly, I'm actually surprised that Mockingbird just didn't just unload the full combo at that point. I think they were within range. So that would have been pretty interesting. Golden Pharaoh? I feel bad for B-Sen, constantly getting caught up by these Swain E's. But now, Console gonna go ahead and try to use the ultimate to get out, having to use the Senna ulti to get him away. But oh my god, the damage coming out of Console, keeping him in, able to 1v2 as Kittens is now trying to walk away. The ultimate just too powerful. Console C getting the 1v2 double kill with a slight help from the Senna with the ulti.
Technically a solo bolo for him, because he was the only person there.
Yeah, Senna just said, you know, here's my little shield just in case. I just need the gold. I don't even need to be there. I just need gold. But now we have Avius up in this top side, but Empire's actually here first this time. Lissandra nowhere to be found as they're going behind as Glizzler able to take out Avius and Golden Pharaoh. Oh wait, never mind. Empire able to take that kill onto the enemy Gnar, and DA this time looking like they actually have a little bit more life as they're going for these Void Grubs.
I'll remember that the next time I'm playing like top lane Tryndamere or something and I get like a Soraka ult and I get a kill because of it. Solo kill. No help from my team whatsoever. Solo bolo.
It was all me, baby. But really well baited there by Pharaoh. Getting engaged on and getting the 2-man knockup into his Maokai and Aurelia showing up.
That was just the lack of... Oh, hold on. Avius is now here trying to help. Uses the ultimate onto the Aurelia. Empire for hire now. Getting slain. And the big shutdown going right over to Avius. This time around, though, I actually do like the fact that Avius is starting to take some of these kills, because that Silas can become an absolute tear after a while.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All the healing and shield... All the healing and stuff that he's going to end up doing later on is going to become an absolute annoyance.
Almost enough there from Empire to get that kill, but... Mockingbird able to walk away.
I wonder if anybody's ever like tried Malignance on Silas. Like if you have like a teamfight ult like Swain, if you just go Malignance because of the procs.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that, or Crypt Bloom, but we're now not worried about the itemization, as we're worried about the fights. Console C showing that this Swain is extremely powerful. The Feather's called back, but now able to escape back under their tower. That ult's gonna run out soon enough, and that's when they're gonna be able to re-engage. As we have a little bit of fight going on, but B-Sen's still extremely low, and the Glizzler now actually here to help. But they don't realize that the Maokai is there, except for the vision being taken out. Go right in on the Fel, and Avius is able to take that kill, and Console now being dragged out as Avius steals the ultimate, and is trying to get more, trying to push in. Kittens now, ultimate still going. Kittens now having, or Glizzler having to use the Maokai ultimate to be able to go in, as Avius is now able to keep absorbing more and more health. You can't kill him, but we do have B-Sen currently being tracked down by Empire for hire. Fel gonna use the long range ultimate, able to take out B-Sen as Avius goes back in with the longest Swain ultimate I think I've ever seen. But because it was stolen, the real thing doesn't matter as you get taken down by Aurelia. Oh, wait a second, Pharaoh. You might be able to actually get that. Nope, not gonna. He just needed like the one extra like Q auto, and that probably would have been it. Flashes in, go ahead and get that Q auto once again, and that was it. He able to get the solo dolo up top side as Pharaoh now is starting to show a little bit more on this Yone.
Yeah, playing really well on it, and doing what they need to do. They have this early lead coming up on 20 minutes, and can really just kind of pressure these side lanes if they have a bigger Aurelia and an ahead Yone. So, looking like a good 1-3-1 game for them.
I think, but this is like, again now, this time we're seeing the opposite, where the bot side for the side of DA is actually able to do a little bit more, and so they're starting to, how do you say, look a little, it's definitely looking better for them on this side, just because of the fact that the way they're playing. We do see now, Shifting Sands able to secure their first Drake. but I don't think their comp scales as well as their last one did. And Mockingbird not going to be able to jump in. I think not having the Syndra is a part of the might be potentially part of the issue. Not as much outright burst onto certain members from the Lissandra. So it's just kind of like, okay, how do we do this? But now Golden Pharaoh attempting the split gets caught in between 3 different members. Ultimate's dropped onto him and the ultimate's stolen. But that's going to be Golden Pharaoh's life now taken and given over to Avius.
Yeah, I think the idea for Shifting Sands is exactly what just happened, because you see Yone and Irelia and you think these champions are going to be looking to pressure the side lanes. You just try to catch them out and then try to make a play with numbers advantage.
All right, so this is right here what I was talking about, the potential matchup between the Gnar and the Irelia, as she's just constantly chasing down. No rage bar. Gonna have to use the ultimate as he calls down onto the solo dolo, and that's what's going on as Empire for Hire is able to take a big ultimate from the Yono that was stolen, as Avius is able to jump right on top of their bot lane in the mid lane, and is gonna be able to take those kills, and we're able to give one over to the Xayah, and it was the shutdown, which is extremely important. B-Sin now having a kill on under their belt with this Kraken Slayer, gonna be able to do a little bit more. The Glizzard now basically safe under his tower, gonna try to engage onto the enemy bot lane, but instead just gonna have to watch as his bot lane had fell, and that's just unfortunate now because we do see a little gold go to Xayah, and Avius was able to secure another kill for himself in that one too. Oh, we got the TP coming in. Golden Pharaoh now gonna have to have to back off as Lissandra comes in. Golden Pharaoh gonna nicely done dodging out Avius, as now we're gonna see Golden Pharaoh have their life taken, but Empire for Hire is on this Irelia, and it's gonna be extremely difficult to stop as he's looking for Avius, but Avius able to run away, doesn't even realize the Glizzler is there, gonna be able to get the heal, jumps over, not gonna be enough, as Copium now shows up a little too late, because now more members are here from the side of DA, and they're looking for all the life bars, and they're taking them away. Copium now trying to do a little bit more as Mockingbird is dropped now, also Copium being dropped too, but we do now have the Xayah here. B-Sin a little too late for you to show up to this fight, and now the feathers call back in, not gonna be enough. The bot lane now having to walk away. Fell though, caught in between two, and that might be able to be a return kill finally, as B-Sin is able to take out Fell, catching Glizzard under the tower. Gonna be another one. They just keep going in, and that's not what you want to see, as now Empire goes back in and it's taking their life. What is up with you guys? You already won the fight. Why not just walk away? There was no need to do that, and you just end up giving unnecessary kills for no reason. Even sitting at 4 gold up, that was completely not necessary there. You guys could have just walked away from that fight.
Braum passive doing a big work right there as they kept trying to dive the bot lane.
I don't understand. Don't understand. There was no need to do that. The Xayah, it's like B-Sin and Kittens are already decently behind in comparison to the rest of DA. So it just seems kind of weird to see them still trying to, like, I know you want to propel yourself forward, I get it, but it doesn't really make much sense to keep like pushing into them when you could just be like, okay, let's just back away, let's go get some objectives, let's go try to, you know, I mean, it was a little bit of downtime, but like trying to get more vision down, you could have done anything else other than give up literally 2 more kills to the Xayah, which is what exactly she needs right now, is more gold in her pocket to be able to accelerate herself. So that's why I was just kind of like, instead of just sitting there trying to attempt it, yeah, they managed to kill the Xayah in the end, but they also ended up giving, literally, basically the entire team died in that extended fight. Like, they got aced in the overall extended fight.
I mean, they did have some of their strongest members there, so I mean, I can understand wanting to kind of limit test there a little bit to see how much you can get away with, but I agree that a little bit of a overextension.
I just feel like it's more of just wasted time than anything. Like, that's like, unless you're really looking to stall. Oh man, Avius going right over and finding Fell immediately, flashing over the wall, catching 2 ultimates out immediately, and then using the Yone ultimate himself, trying to get away, having to go ahead and jump out. But that's probably going to be the killed Avius. No, not enough. Now it's just going to be trying to heal, not going to be able to do it. Console C going to be able to take out Avius after Avius was able to take out Fell. But now more members are just being dragged away, as we do see not able to follow on with the claw from Mockingbird, but it is going to be able to get them off for just a little bit. I think they could still fight this. No, they can't. DA has the jungler where Shifting Sands does not. So this Infernal Drake going over to DA more than likely.
Yeah, really good fallout from console. Avius doing his best to get out there, but didn't let him get away. He also went with the Leandris first this game, and definitely feeling that damage from him, so might have been a good change-up for him.
We were literally talking about it before in Champ Select, where it's like,
Oh, we
but
lost
they're probably,
Kittens. Hopefully just something quick. Oh, yeah, back
yeah,
into
it's
the
coming
game
right back.
already.
Well, we were talking about it, and it was like that Leandri's tick means so much, especially for like when you're trying to like, how do I put it? Like you're trying to passively heal. Like everyone has like some slight health regen. If you have pots or anything like that, that Leandri's burn kind of helps negate any type of additional healing that some people are trying to do and tax on that little bit of extra damage. So like I understand the importance of Malignance, especially with the way that the ultimate works for Swain. It does really help. But that extra little bit of damage already we're seeing is making that much more of a difference for the bot lane side of DA right now. And so we just need them to be able to keep this 3k gold lead that they have. They just need to be able to keep that up and keep pressing forward, keep finding some of these little extra flanks, and they should be able to eat the win out here. They are overall ahead. They are able to take, they have all the towers where Shifting Sands has none. So we should see DA be able to honestly keep a hold of this game.
Senna's attack range getting quite long at this point in the game.
Oh, Fel having to use the ghost there to try to get away. Avius was knocked away by the Yone. 4 members are here. Is Avius able to land the stun? No, but we do have a TP in the middle. That might actually be bad for Empire as he's caught in between 3 different members. Ultimate's now just being used, but so much as they can't take out Empire. This Irelia is so difficult to take out, and it took literally 4 members from the side of Shifting Sands to be able to do so. Fight now sitting there as a 4v3. Kittens gonna be able to get caught out as Console C activates the ultimate. Kittens now being slain by the Glizzard and more as they continue to chase. They're not gonna be able to chase anymore for it, and instead the side of Shifting Sands able to get away. I don't like seeing that the fact that Shifting Sands is able to still eke out some of these like these little extra like wins amongst like their mistakes being made.
Yeah, it's helping them keep the gold lead from ballooning too far. So keeping them in the game, but definitely still Demonic Ascension favored.
Oh, uses the Senna ulti trying to get away. Avius, though, going to be able to barely hear, but Fel able to take that kill. We see the ultimate dropped onto him, but B-Sin now caught in between 4 different members. Console C going to be able to take that kill, and we do have Copium now chasing down the Glizzler. Glizzler now being able to be healed. And that's just more of a chase as Copium goes back in. He's looking for the members. He has the rage bar. He's trying to rage out, get a little bit extra health, and walk away. But if Console's able to grab him, this might end up being potentially the death. But no, Copium able to barely get away under his tower, and he's just going to have to back from here, as I believe DA might be able to go for this Baron. Oh, no, never mind.
I think the chase went on for too long. If they started, it might be a little risky.
Yeah, I see that Avius is up in 4, and then Beeson's up in 3. Yeah, that would have been very, very risky. I mean, I do like the fact that they at least drop some vision down before backing, and you know, that's something that you definitely want to see a little bit more of, is them just having a little bit more proactivity with their objectives. Oh man, Empire was just waiting for him here, but I don't think Empire realized that other members was waiting for him too, as Avius now on this Silas 10-7-4, gonna be taking a couple more kills, trying to get himself ahead and being able to carry his team. That was a very nice pick, and actually a very nice bait onto the Aurelia, able to pick them out, and now this is going to be very, very good for the side of Shifting Sands, as they're going to be trying to look for a little bit more picks. Oh, and here's another one now, as I just said it, you get caster cursed, Vel, as Avius now drops you to the gray screen.
Yeah, unfortunately they're just trying to put down vision and walks into Avius.
That was that was actually very unfortunate to see for Fel there. You just, as a support main, I feel your pain.
Can we get a soul count on Senna?
Yeah, actually, that would be pretty nice to see, because I feel like they've been doing very much better than last game, so I feel like they might be a little bit more on track this time.
Gotta wait for her to be alive. There we go. 83.
83.
Yeah, she was pumping out damage onto Avius over at Red Buff. I was kind of curious what the soul count was.
83 at 25 minutes. Definitely not bad here at all. As we can see, it's starting to make a difference, as we saw the autos coming out from the Senna is starting to pack a little bit of a punch. So let's I think for the side, this is actually what a lot of people worry about when it comes to Senna. Like I feel like she's not a super feast or famine champion, but she's definitely one of those ones that like when she's not doing good, you can definitely tell the difference. But when she is, like right now, oh boy, I don't think they really like this. Oh, big! Able to land on the one person, and it's gonna mean a lot, but Golden Pharaoh, unfortunately, gonna end up losing his life in the middle of all that as Mockingbird uses the ult on himself, trying to go ahead and stay alive. Zonya's by Console C, gonna be able to help take that kill onto the Glizzards as Empire for Hire has been slain by B-Sin. More fighting going on as Avius steals the Swain ultimate, trying to go ahead and absorb from 3 different members, but it's not gonna mean enough as Fel is able to take out Avius, and the rest of the members of SSG is gonna have to back off.
Yeah, good commitment there from Pharaoh, giving his life, but setting up his team for success in that fight.
That was, honestly, you know what, and that's something I think Pharaoh has come to accept for himself, that if he can find a good flank, a good angle, even if he dies, I think this is something that he's learned from just randomly playing Overwatch from time to time. It's just, even if he goes in and dies, as long as he does something that advances his team forward and is not completely feeding, I think they accept those things from Pharaoh, and I think DA is starting to work around those kinds of stuff, because that was a really big ultimate to get into the middle of it, and even though, yes, Avius was able to survive, and Avius was able to utilize the Swain ultimate afterwards, it still was a fight for DA to win, and they are now sitting on Soul Point. They are sitting at a 4K gold lead, and they literally are still sitting at 3 towers to none in comparison to the side of SSG. So we still, right now, DA still looking really good, even if they've made some minor mistakes from here and there.
Yeah, for sure. Still anyone's game. Sitting on still a little over a 3K gold lead for Demonic Ascension. Just gotta keep track of Avius so he doesn't pop off and heal uncontrollably in one of these fights.
I think the main thing that for Shifting Sands right now, I really have to say the Aurelia is not your biggest fear anymore. It's really the Senna that is slowly but surely just scaling more and more and more. Someone's got to jump onto her and take her out. It's really the only way. Avius now does see the Yone there, decides not to engage. I think that was a smart move, as you don't know what members might have been there and waiting for you. So good job not to just immediately just balls rush it down and potentially end up losing your life. But Mockingbird might end up losing his life here as he tries to attempt to get away from the Aurelia. Aurelia not going to chase any more forward, no flash. So instead of chasing forward, decides that it'd just be better to just back away.
Yeah, kind of rough for little Sandra. Can only really clear waves and then CC and run away from the Aurelia unless she has some backup.
If this Senna ends up building like Sherelda's or something, I'm gonna have an absolute like aneurysm on the casting desk, because that's just the distance that she's just attacking. Like, look at this. Like, she's just able to just do this. She can just do that. That's not even fair.
Force out the TP from Lysandra also, so didn't have to commit too much. Really pushing that mid lane for free.
Look at that, half health between the Senna and the Maokai, and as most of that damage came from Senna, she literally brought she brought Mockingbird down to 66% HP before the sapling, from God knows how far on the map. So at this point, this is something I would like to see. If Shifting Sands loses this game, please ban that Senna, because that is something that Fel is very comfortable on, and it's clearly showing that it can be a condition for their win factor.
Aurelia stopped pushing mid for a little bit when they were looking for a fight. Probably would have killed this tower, and potentially another one if she had just stayed and kept pushing. A little bit of tempo loss. Nothing too bad.
Yeah, it at least bumps them up to 4.5k, almost a 5k gold lead. But we do see Avius. Yeah, they don't have the ability to engage as hard as they did last game. So they're actually, I think that's where they're losing. I think they're losing in the fact that Shifting Sands doesn't have the ability to fully engage unless, you know, Nard's at full rage bar. Avius is able to catch a stun onto somebody or utilize like the stolen Yone or stolen Maokai ultimates. Aside from that, I don't know what much else that Shifting Sands is able to do, especially when they don't have the potential engage like they did last time with the Xin Zhao. Yeah. And the Skarner actually too.
Lacking the easy go button a little bit.
I think they just need to utilize the strengths of their comp, like that I mentioned earlier, where they just need to try to catch out people that are in the side lanes, and then try to use that numbers advantage and try to brute force a play.
Yeah, I'd agree. Or you just have to say, go in Mockingbird, you can go and engage and then ult yourself.
That's probably what, and that's the thing. That's what I was saying from the last game. Like, even with the easy go buttons that they had, hold on here, we do have a little bit of chases. DA is catching out 4 other members on the side of Shifting Sands. And look at that. Look at the distance. Come on, man. Just ban the Senna, please. Just ban it so that you guys don't have to deal with it. That's clearly a big win condition. They jump on the console C. Console C gonna be able to use the ultimate. Should have used that on somebody else, but they catch up the Senna this time. Avius able to take him out, and now gonna have to go golden as he tries to avoid it. Mockingbird gonna end up taking out from Empire for Hire, but more comes out as the feathers fly, pulls him in. We have 2 Swain ultimates going on as Golden Pharaoh's able to find 2 different members with his ultimate, and is trying to get more. But Console C going on a killing spree as he takes out Copium, and now they're continuing the chase as B-Sin ends up losing his life for Empire for Hire. Only 1 member down, and it's the support from the side of Demonic Ascension. And as they continue to chase, it's only 2 members now alive from the side of SSG, and now it's looking like that is the soul for the side of Demonic Ascension.
Yep, we'll play for them. They're late enough in the game that in these team fights, even with a pretty good engage, killing off that Senna almost immediately, just then don't have the damage to burn through all the healing coming out from DA.
No joke, yeah. The very moment that like Silas unloaded everything onto the Senna, it was just like, okay, cool, but what else do you have left over for everybody else? And I think that is the big thing, is the fact that they didn't have anything left for anybody else. So it's just that really sucks that your team, like, even though you can find a really good engage like that, and it feels like, oh, we killed 1 member, 4 are still left, and you have no spells, no rotations. What are you gonna do at that point, especially when one of the members is just eternally just literally just a damage bot, just sitting there in the middle of all of you, literally absorbing health, and you guys are just taking damage. I don't know. And at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Senna's already over 100 souls. So yeah, we might. I think this is looking like a DA game.
106.
Yep. So they already have Infernal Soul. I'm just waiting to see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if this Baron fight ends up being the nail in the coffin for the side of SSG. Come on, man. An auto plus a spell, 2 autos plus a spell equals 1/3 of the health gone from Braum with a 100 stack Senna. Not even full build yet. Actually hasn't gotten any other items since, literally had the same items for the last like 5 minutes. Just been scaling off souls.
A lot of that damage does come from Eclipse, just from it proccing, but yeah, the souls do help a lot.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying though. Like, it's I think I misworded myself. What I was trying to word out was the fact that the Senna, like, literally she's backed multiple times, but the rapid fire cannon Eclipse. Oh, hold on a second. Big fight as right now Avius caught in the middle of 3 members. It's unfortunate you're just gonna get knocked around in a bounce house as Console C ends up going on a rampage, taking him out. Fell now gonna be able to take out Copium, and more souls, more drops, and more deaths. Gray screens is abundant for the side of SSG. We're gonna now see Empire for Hire going on a killing spree. Double kill for Empire for Hire as they're able to take out the mid and bot lane. The Yone, Golden Pharaoh, gonna lose his life to that tower, but that doesn't matter. Demonic Ascension is gonna keep pushing down these lanes. Actually, never mind. They're turning around. They want the Baron instead. But that was absolutely insane from the side of Demonic Ascension, able to make a big fight as Avius has been trying to be the engage this time around for the team, but it not working out so well. Just leads now to Demonic Ascension taking full advantage.
Yeah, just tossed out that Mayo ult and caught Avius, luckily.
I think the conversation that may have happened during draft was like, listen guys, I played for you guys last game. I want to have some fun this game, and it's not turning out to be as fun as he may have thought in his head. Maybe if that was the conversation, I think I would have drafted a different bot lane, because if you're giving over the Senna Swain, you can't have a low range bot lane like that, which is probably why Senna has so many stacks. Because we saw early game that they were getting pretty hard punished, and
yeah.
So I think if we allow them to have Senna Swain again, which I don't think they should, at least get rid of the Senna bare minimum, like we mentioned earlier, but gotta understand that when you're drafting it for a specific win condition, you also have to take into consideration what they're going to be drafting.
Oh, Mockingbird now gonna have to use the ultimate as Avius comes up behind Empire for Hire, using the ultimate, jumping right on Empire for Hire, going unstoppable as he's able to take out Mockingbird in that fight. Avius, though, gonna end up missing the stolen ultimate. Flash in, jumps on, and Empire for Hire taking the solo dolo double kill up in the top side as he's able to take out the enemy mid laner and jungler. Now, Glizzler gonna be able to launch that ultimate right onto Copio. Copio not gonna be able to go into Narbar and rage out enough. Fell, able to take that kill with a big ultimate, and able to land right on top of B-Sin. Pharaoh now able to take that kill. This is DA's game to win as they push down with that Baron buff right into the base.
I kind of agree with your statement, Tim. I would kind of rephrase it where that SSG has a lot of conditional damage, where a lot of conditions have to be met for the damage to be at its fullest, but not necessarily low damage. It's a lot of conditional damage.
Well, I did say, I like that Tim pointed it out, because I did say earlier that it felt as if they just didn't have a lot of the out front damage like they did last game. Like this time you have the Lissandra versus the absolute burst of, say, the Syndra. So when you have to completely change the way that you play these team fights now, because you're not just outright bursting the carries like you were doing before. Like Lissandra literally jumps on top of Fell as the Senna, and still, like, yeah, you can maybe 100 to 33%er, but you're not literally doing you're not doing ball scatter the weak and then unleashed power and then bringing someone 100 to 0. It is now you doing only about 66% damage. So now Senna has the ability to potentially heal, to wait for other teammates to come by. There was so many other things that unfortunately just did not end up working out for them.
Yeah, I mean, the individual pieces were pretty low damage, but I think the comp as a whole had like really good potential damage. It
Yes.
just was way too difficult to get in the situation where that damage could be utilized with the range of their champions versus the enemy team comp. But
I really want to see SSG ban out the Senna or the Swain. Swain being one of those champions that we have players in this league that they have it banned against them consistently for a reason. So we should be probably looking at that. And let's be real here, it's their mascot. Why are you letting their mascot through, knowing that their ADC is a literal Swain one trick at times? So it makes no sense. And then like, all he did was make an item change, and all of a sudden the swing was a big factor. He didn't go Malignus first. Instead, he went to Leandri's first, and we saw what a difference it actually made for them overall. Plus the fact that, again, Fell with the nearly 120 stacks on this Senna by the end of this game. You need to either get rid of one or both. Target that bot lane. If you're gonna be playing for your top lane, right, your top side, your mid, your jungle, and your top, I keep saying this because I literally have experience playing on a team that played this way. If you're gonna play for top mid jungle, you need to get a mitigating bot lane, or a bot lane that can at least be more self-sufficient without having the jungler constantly having to come down and potentially do something for you. So that's why, like, seeing a Sivir, a Caitlyn, or even like, honestly, there's so many other choices. MF, even something to give you guys the ability to mitigate as much of that bot lane as possible without having to give up so much, because the moment that their bot lane took it away, it was over. And if they don't ban it here, if SSG doesn't end up banning either Senna or Swain here, I guarantee you that's going to be the first 2 picks for DA.
And we're back into draft for the Silver Scrapes game number 3. Samsung Gaming back on the blue side, Demonic Ascension on red. Taking out that Swain. There's the ban you wanted to see. Trundle, Swain, Demonic Ascension take out the Zinzao, Jinx, and the Asolgan taken down.
I think this is going to force... I like the bans that we're seeing here, and I really do think that it's going to force DA to either fully pick the Senna if they really want to secure it right now. If they don't pick the Senna in the first 3, it's definitely getting banned in second phase.
Thank you for distributing the points from that last game as well. And yes, if anyone again has the ability to send us a subscription, definitely helps out the league and bring you all this fun League of Legends action. So drop it our way and get your 30 days of love from Valhalla Esports with the Varus first pick for Shifting Sands Gaming. Kind of going back towards what worked in that game number 1.
I mean, if I'm glad to see that DA banned the Skarner, so they can't just kind of repeat that game 1 composition that worked very well for them in the Zinzal. So you do see that they don't want to try to deal with that first game 1 composition, but they definitely need to do a little bit more on the kind of the go button side. And I do like seeing here that DA decided to pick up the Maokai and Kaisa for console this time. So I do like I haven't seen Kaisa in quite some time, so this will be actually pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah, according to U.GG, she's still like one of the highest picked ADCs right now.
And finish
And
off
we do
that bot lane with the Thresh pick. And grabbing that Orin, I was going to mention that since Demonic Ascension banned that round 2 last time, picking it up here, putting Kopi in him on a comfort pick who can enable his team. I like that adjustment to get him on the champion you want. Demonic
And the
Ascension
Mordekaiser.
answering with that Mordekaiser. Orin can do fine in this matchup. You just have to respect his damage and not get too close to him. And then time your W with his ult, and you can cancel it. I'm thinking Kopian can be okay, but if Mord gets ahead, can definitely be a terror.
I think I really like the Thresh being picked up here. It screams to me, hey, I'm Mr. Wife Stealer. Go ahead and pick his wife. So I actually am not going to be surprised if SSG just lets the Senna through just to kind of be like, hey. But I do like DA doing this here. They immediately made sure that the Syndra was not picked, so there was no immediate outburst damage. I wouldn't be surprised if a Lux gets picked up here to kind of work in the same vein as the Syndra, but it's just I just like that. And then Nefiri being banned out from the side of SSG, and Empire for Hire loves Nefiri, so it actually makes sense that they don't want him on a champion that he absolutely loves. And then it's also kind of like almost like a point and click assassin that you can play.
Right. Yeah, I'd still like to see, going back to that Aurelia again, worked game number 2, may as well. I'd like to see another kind of safer ranged mage. Victor could be a good one. Have to space respectfully with the Aurelia, but once you get scaled up, can be big damage for your team. Now we'll see what Avius is feeling for the jungle.
Actually, the way SSG has set themselves up, no. Yes. Come on, don't start all this switching. Don't do all this switching, man. Don't maybe break up the
He's
Terrence Howard.
thinking.
Come on, man.
Going
He's
for the
thinking.
early game pressure, similar to game 1, hoping to get everything done that he needs to for his team.
Damn, I would have loved to see a Zac there instead then if that was the case. The reason why I'm saying that is because I was really hoping for the Volibear when he was kind of hovering it, just for the sense of one, having the 2 different unstoppables. Because now you got Volibear who could potentially negate the Mordekaiser ulti. You have Ornn who could potentially negate the Mordekaiser ulti. So that would be a potential wasted cooldown that could actually come out from them. But then you also have the side of but then you also have the fact that like that would have been also like a decent amount of lockdown for Thresh, for Varus, for Ornn, and then you have the Chaos Storm stacked on top of all that lockdown. I think it's really gonna be SSG is really looking towards this Victor to be able to carry for them like they were able to do in game 1. With that said, really quickly though, for those who might just only be listening or just jumping in or literally might just seen the wipe of the screen, we already seen the bans and picks have gone through. So for SSG, they had ended up picking top lane Ornn, jungle Lee Sin, mid lane Victor, bot lane is going to be Varus, the support is going to be Thresh, while DA ends up picking up for the top side is the Mordekaiser. Jungle is going to be the Maokai. Mid lane is going to be the Irelia. Bot lane is going to be the Kaisa. Oh, sorry, Maokai support with Ivern going into the jungle. So it's actually all over the place.
The score is 1-1.
22-2.
Going into game 3. You can see it on
Yep,
screen
they've
right there, my friend.
24 of 25 games so far.
It is 22-2, clearly. Not a mistype at all.
While they do their picking and stuff real quick, I'll mute us real quick and we can have that nice Silver Scrapes coming through. So we'll be back in just 1 second. All right, and we are back as we get to wait out these 3 minutes. Have any thoughts as we go into game for how you think it's going to play out?
I am in the sense of you guys are gonna hate me, but I'm going DA again. There's just too much. I feel like there's just gonna be way too much dependence on this Victor. The damage profiles I feel is a little bit more spread out for the side of DA, giving them the ability to be able to utilize the Kaisa and the Irelia plus the Mordekaiser as that kind of like, I don't know. It's just going to be something interesting. And then this is something that I saw last week when I casted games. Ivern having the ability to kind of make it a 6v5 instead of being a 5v5. It does make a big difference. So this is going to be crazy. Oh, wait, what's going on here? What's the drinking game tonight? Every time Ivern says Daisy, every time Malco gets hyped, and anytime someone goes to Brazil. All right, I could make a quick drink to those. I got a cup right here.
How does that work if Orange says no, I don't want to go to Brazil?
Let's do I'm gonna say let's do Brazil and Daisy. I think Brazil and Daisy are the perfect drinking games.
Does that mean we have to force Pharaoh to drink if Orange says no, I don't want to go to Brazil? Is that how that works?
Yes, I actually think that's how it works. Every time he gets deflected, Pharaoh's the one that has to take the drink.
There you go.
And all right, it's looking like though, even though I feel that DA might end up being able to eke out this win, right now the voting is, oh my god, it is heavily SSG favored as we see it's like a 90-10 split for who's actually gonna win this. Now that I think DA has the easier to execute comp aside from their damage profile being nearly all AP. And actually Bentage, no joke, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Is that even though like the majority of their damage profile is going to be AP, it's still going to be a pretty decent. It's still going to be an overall easier executable comp, and that might end up being better for them. I think like once again, SSG made a good comp, but it has way too much conditional damage. We need them to be able to layer and stack on a lot of CC to allow this Victor to be able to land all that AOE magic damage. If you can't, but then you got like these mobile champions. Literally, Kaisa and Irelia, who are able to easily reposition themselves in fights. So trying to land on that Chaos Storm, trying to land on that extra CC. Oh man, that actually they that's what I mean why I'm personally voting DA side, just because of seeing like how conditional everything is gonna be for the side of SSG. So let's hope that the matching skins for the bot lane and other things is going to be able to help them win this game 3, as we are in silver scrapes of SSG versus DA for week 6, season 4 of Valhalla Esports.
I do like how Avius has kind of kept his champion theme consistent through all 3 of these games. All 3 of the champions like have high potential early game and like steadily like taper off. It's been kind of interesting seeing that.
I feel that with Avius, I do like that. I do like that a bit. Oh my god, the Choo Choo Ornn, I love that skin. Anyways, but I think that Avius
skin.
Yeah, it's really good skin. But I think Avius playing on these types of early game, I really like that. A jungler who wants to attempt to be very proactive in the beginning of the game, to be able to give the absolute best possible advantage to his lanes, and Lee Sin having like these really weird gank angles and all that kind of stuff makes that very much possible for the side of SSG. So them. And I think and that's something too, that if SSG can win the overall early game, it's gonna be hard for them to be beaten later on, especially if if Avius plays like how you played the Xin Zhao, giving up a lot of the gold over to his laners and stuff like that. And since he's not on as much of a carry this time around like the Sylas, it makes more sense for him to play to that style once again.
Peace in. I'm hoping my my investment in Demonic Ascension pays off for the savvy investor. But we'll have to see.
Percentage. It should be a decent game, but I think DA is on a timer. DA, I think, well, if Kaisa, I think Kaisa scales very well. Mordekaiser is going to be able to remove someone out the fight, so it still could literally end up being like a 5v4 with Ivern being there. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of different conditions for both teams to be able to win this game. It just seems that the easier conditions is for DA, while the overall conditions is going more towards SSG, at least based upon the voting and what everyone has said so far. So I think for what it is, we should be on the lookout for DA to try to attempt to take out a big early game here, as we already see Empire for Hire going on with this little bit of an exchange Conqueror proc, and already managed to bring Mockingbird down to half health. I'm very interested to see how this mid lane goes this time, because without the ability for having like some type of real like big engage and stuff like that, I think it's gonna be, once again, like, actually they do have a little bit more engaged this time around between Thresh, Ornn, and Lee Sin, so they might actually be able to do a little bit more this time around for SSG. So I'm going to take back my previous comment.
I think both teams kind of have the like equal opportunity to be aggressive or be reactive with their abilities.
It's actually really funny. This is the game I thought would have been the one where the voting would have been a lot more even. But literally, like, I think it was like 85 or 90-10 split in that last one. So I'm actually extremely surprised to see like the way this game is being played right now. Like, it's just okay, like more people are towards the shifting sand side. Oh, the Glizzler once again here first, probably gonna be able to force a flash out at the very least, but his members are not there following right behind, and instead they decide to stay behind the wave instead of activating. I think that was just to get a little pressure off.
There was a big minion wave that we've been fighting into as well. So.
Yeah. Oh, Lee Sin's here though for Avius, but only going to be able to get a small kick on. Ivern having those shields is going to be extremely difficult to burn through. I know that Ivern can be annoying, and look at that, just poking him, just autos. That's all it is, just pokes, autos. Lee Sin is not there though, and that's gonna attempt to be the first kill. No, it's not, and instead Empire for Hire gonna have to be forced to flash as Avius just needs one more auto. First blood goes over to the side of SSG, and right now we're trying to see Demonic Ascension getting another kill as Kaisa able to get 2 kills, but gonna be taken out by the enemy support. That's already 2 kills for each, 1 kill per minute, and we're already getting a bloody game. I love it.
Yeah, I thought the first blood was going to go to the bot side, but able to survive just long enough to get first blood onto Avius. Nice for them, but now tied up across the map 2-2.
But the crazy thing is, though, look at the kill spread. The 2 kills, yeah, there was 1 on the Thresh, 1 on the Lee Sin, but then you see 2 kills on Kai'Sa. This is already not looking fun for the side of SSG if this Kai'Sa can just start to really ramp herself up. Honestly, agreed, Bentage. It's not bad, a 2 for 2, and then once again, the first blood was able to go over to the side of SSG, so at least they weren't able to completely lose tempo. It actually helped them out. That's actually always something good. Good job, Copium, able to utilize the Bellows Breath to withstand getting pulled in, so that's always a fun time. Why do I remember that ability's name, but I don't remember anything else?
I don't know a lot of the ability names in the game. I know what button they're assigned to, and that's about it.
Honestly, it's weird. It's like some champions I know what button it's assigned to, and then there's champions where I'm like, I know the name of their abilities. Like, I knew Bellows Breath, but I think Bellows Breath is what, the W? For Ornn, that's the unstoppable.
Yeah, it's his W.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't see. It depends on the champion. I'll know which one. Like I know console. I won't like Kai'Sa's one of those ones where it's like I kind of know both of them because it's like Q's a Kathy and Rain. You should already know those things. Oh, nice Thresh hook there, but not gonna really mean anything against Fel because it was not the target you were looking for. But it's really weird to try to remember all of these little random champion names and stuff. Like Victor Q is just Laser. Like we just call it Laser. People go ahead, you tell me the name in the chat, but I'm just calling it Laser because that's what it is. It's a giant laser. We don't even call does anyone know what Aurelion Sol's like Q ability is? The bled that we call it now. Does anyone actually know what the name of it is? Like a fire breath or something? Aside from that, I don't know. I just call it bled.
Yeah. No, that is what it's called. You know?
See, that's absolutely crazy. But right now, the Glizzard going on top of B-Sin. B-Sin able to barely survive, but Fel gonna be able to take that out with the Ignite as they jump on Avius, able to take out Kai'Sa. And now it's just two low damage characters trying to go up against a Thresh and a Lee Sin. You're not able to escape. Double kill for Lee Sin, trying to chase him down more, trying to get the Glizzard, but the shield gonna be able to barely save him. But we do have Kittens now, trying to use the oh my god, the Lantern able to get the Bear Shield and get that kill. They're still trying to return it. They now have a slight lead, and that was absolutely insane down there in that bot fight. But this is what I was actually worried about, and I think Bentage literally pointed this out. But if literally the moment that Kai'Sa dropped, no damage profile was there basically anymore at all. So it's actually very interesting to see that is what maybe the timer they're talking about. Oh, Ornhorn activated, but not going to be able to land onto Golden Pharaoh and allow more of an engage. But Copium definitely probably could have won that fight there if he was able to do so. Mockingbird going to activate the Chaos Storm in the magnetic field, trying to bring in more for Empire for Hire. But is he going to be able to escape ever so barely? And Ivern's there to give the shield just in case a little bit of extra support was needed. Sorry, I think it's called Graviton Field or something like that for his field thing. But like his W, the stun AoE.
Yeah, it's Graviton Field.
What? See this, man? It's so
He's too good.
I'm sorry.
There are certain champions I know the abilities of other champions. I'm just like, yeah, that's Q, that's W, that's E.
Avius sitting 4-0 on this Lee Sin doing this early game.
this is very scary that you don't want to see a Lee Sin, because it feels as if Lee Sin's able to get this far ahead early game like this. 4 kills in 8 minutes. All right, he has 50%. He has 50% of the kills in the time. So like, if he's he's literally 50% KP right now. Like, if he's able to get this far ahead as a Lee Sin, it's gonna feel as if even though you get 20 minutes, 25 minutes in when the Lee Sin starts to feel like he falls off, he hasn't fallen off yet because you're just now starting to catch up to him. So we really got to just keep an eye on Avius right now, because this is what early game jungling looks like, and he's doing a damn good job at it.
No, he's been very consistent with being able to get an early game lead on these early game champions. So it's really good that he's very consistent regardless which champ it is.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I really do like seeing that Avius likes to play these early game champions. I think SSG in general is the Oh, ends up
Didn't hit
taking
the
him in. The
W.
bellows breath wasn't there to be able to take him. So now, welcome to Brazil. I'm taking you on vacation. But this
Oh
isn't
my
the
God.
NBA. And instead, Avius is sending Ivern to Cancun because he just lost the playoffs. And he's trying to push even more forward. Golden Pharaoh now caught between three members. SSG there at the right place at the right time. You took him to Brazil, but that doesn't mean anything. Fist bump coming out from Thresh to give a good job to his teammates up on the top side as they are now sitting 8 versus 4 and 2K gold up.
Yeah, that Ivern
Alright.
was feeling it where he died in like a Q and 2 autos.
First of all, everybody take your drink.
Yep.
Brazil.
He went to Brazil.
Horn
but-
called, but Avius, disgusting damage with the Eclipse proc, able to take him out immediately. Right now, even though the bot lane's still looking pretty good from the side of DA, this is what we saw in game 1. Avius extremely proactive, just being anywhere and everywhere on the Xin Zhao. The bot lane, even with them doing decently, it doesn't matter. They aren't able to do as much because of that factor. So this is probably going to be looking like Shifting Sands. If they play like how they played in game 1, this game, it's going to be their victory.
Yeah, unless if they find a pick on the Avius and he just keeps the snowball going, it's gonna be a rough run for Demonic Ascension right now. They need to either just slow the game down or find the pick onto him.
Like, I think Avius is at the point where he could just full combo one of their squishies. Oh, this is looking kind of scary for Empire. He's going to use the ultimate, having to engage right back on the Mockingbird, but Mockingbird going to have his jungler there, and the absolute godlike kick insected straight through, threaded that needle, and was able to get it to land directly on Irelia, push him out, and kill him there. Nicely done by Avius to be so proactive on this jungler, and right now, it is not looking good, as they, this time though, DA, having to help their bot lane, is proactive to the fight. Kittens losing their life as Console's able to take that kill, and they're chasing down B-Sim, but the TP now coming from the Ornn or the Victor, gonna be the Ornn, trying to help. Ornn not active, but they're able to push DA out, and it's gonna be more members. Kick lands on the Daisy instead of landing onto one of the other members, and it pushes DA out just enough. I think this Drake is gonna be going over to SSG.
Yeah, extremely unlucky for Empire that that Q hit him after he flashed towards the minions. Just like thought he was out, but barely got connected and gets taken down.
It's unfortunate. This is, oh no. Come on, dude. You guys literally know. Oh, this is unfortunate. Avius now officially going legendary. He's currently 8-0-2 on this Lee Sin. And he's just doing God's work at this point, attempting to do whatever it takes to make sure that SSG is able to eke out this win, and it's proving to be absolutely well done here. Empire for Hire gonna be under the Chaos Storm as he attempts to fight out Mockingbird, but Mockingbird able to take out that kill. Solo Dolo in the mid lane as he was able to help him kill. We do see Glizzler here. I think the Ivern was not the best play here.
I understand the idea behind the Ivern pick, I really do, but it's just, yeah, like you said, it's just not doing what it's intended to do, I think.
And it feels like, you know, and this is the thing, I love Ivern, and I've seen, like, Ivern reminds me a lot of, like, it's like a jungle Lulu in a sense, where it's just like, hey, you know, I have a lot of shields, I'm able to sustain you guys, da-da-da-da, but then you have literally this lethality Lee Sin who bursts people down even through your shield. Like, he doesn't even have Serpent's Fang, and he's able to just do that to you. So it's really hard when this Lee Sin is literally, what is that? 87% KP currently in the entire game. Has, what's that item he has now? Jesus, he just literally backed in.
What is it called? It's Lethality Hydra.
Yeah, it's the Lethality Hydra, that's all I know.
So at this point, he has Hydra for lethality users, and it's gonna just end up continuing.
Profane Hydra.
More and more crazy names. Hop in the backpack there, B-Sin. It's fun.
I mean, at this rate, he could have went Hubris and gotten a lot of stacks off of that.
Definitely could have.
And I think he's, instead of just doing that, because he is going balls to the wall deep. Oh, man, rooted up. The bot lane, B-Sin. You're definitely going to be needing that backpack to get carried in as Kittens, who's able to deflect a lot of that damage and stop them from being able to get onto you. Kittens, though, able to get alive. Nicely done by the Thresh. But Golden Pharaoh, able to take Avius into Brazil. Is he going to be able to get that massive shutdown onto him? No, he's not. It's Avius. Solo Dolos in Brazil. Take a drink, audience, because that is the kill going right over to Avius once again. 9-0-2 on this Lee Sin.
Here's a new tactic for Mordekaiser. Since you're taking them to Brazil, you gotta embrace Brazil and flop on the ground and act like you're hurt to get a yellow card. Thoughts?
Thoughts? I don't think we have the referees that are there and ready to give that yellow card out, so we gotta.
Unlucky. Neymar's crying right now.
And as we see, immediate charge into that mid lane, blowing up the first turret and propelling this gold lead even further now. 5k gold up for the side of SSG. The knockup on the Empire for Hire, a lot of damage. Avius going legendary 10-0-2 as a lot of that damage came from that Chaos Storm, able to help out and secure that there. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I think it'd be really, really funny just to see Avius go Collector. I just think it'd be absolutely stupid just to see him just literally rush in, kick somebody, and then they just blow up. You just see the big 9999 from the execution damage. At this point, he's so far ahead, he can have fun. And I think that's what they were hoping for from the Sylas last time. But this time, Lee Sin has a different type of play, especially with the different gank angles that he can do. It's very scary to just be wondering, where's Lee Sin? Well, he's like Mini Zach, come from behind the wall of a war jump, and all of a sudden now you're getting kicked into the middle of his team. What do?
You flop on the ground and scream real loud for a yellow card.
You go, help,
That's what you do.
Oppressed.
Staff of Flowing Water is just a weird item on him, a weird first item. I thought that was the main first item for... Ivern was always either, I thought it was like Redemption or Staff.
I don't play Ivern jungle, but I once again, I understand the intention behind Staff of Flowing Water, especially since a good portion of his team is AP oriented, or has AP scalings at very minimum. So I get the idea behind the item, but I can understand why it wouldn't be viewed as the most ideal item to start the build path with. But
all right, so this is where I'm gonna just say it. I think, oh, hold on here. Empire, you're taking a lot of damage. The Irelia not looking as good for you. Oh, I just looked at the score. Never mind. Yeah, in comparison to the last game, this is not looking as good. We do have members here, but Empire caught in the middle. Using the ultimate, gets in the middle of the Graviton field. Gonna end up losing his life if Avius goes legendary, and he's looking to fight a bit more. And he actually just jumps right onto Fell, but he's gonna try to give this kill. Not enough as he gets the double kill, jumping in. Able to land the Varus ulti? No. And instead, it's just gonna be Console and Glizzler both backing off as SSG takes over this game.
Yeah, again, just trying to delay for Demonic Ascension. It's basically their only game plan.
I'm gonna say this here because this is something I feel that maybe DA want to definitely work on this potentially, but Shopkeep might be something to start also looking into. Like, again, the Staff of Flowing Water was a good first item due to the scaling, but it might be potentially not the best first item in this particular situation for the Ivern, especially with the intention of how you guys were trying to utilize it. Like how we saw that Swain decided to go, it made a big difference for them when Swain went Leandri's over Malignance first in the second game. I think this is one of those situations where we're going to end up seeing a lot of Shopkeep stuff. Oh, hold on. As we see, Avius just goes right in, but Mockingbird able to secure that kill, going on a killing spree. We have three currently unkillable Demon Kings in this game, as the full top side for the side of SSG is completely unkilled.
Yeah, it was a good try when they tried to pick out Mockingbird on the Victor, but the rest of the team showed up and get the kills the other way.
Vintage saying, banning the Lee Sin, just ban Avius scripting. The man is clean on this Lee Sin. I'm not even gonna lie about it. He's clean. He's looking real damn clean on this Lee Sin.
He is indeed large.
He even bought Serpent's Fang to just mitigate how much effectiveness both Mordekaiser and Ivern get.
This is I know this is gonna be a little bit of flame, but I feel like Pharaoh might be sitting there seething in rage at the moment because Lee Sin was like one of his first original champions, and seeing somebody play it this good probably makes you feel a little like you know, like you see someone playing like your original main, and you're just like, I can't believe I can't play to this level. But we seen the Lee Sin sending the kick out, trying to give the kill to somebody else, but they just want Avius to take them all, and they're trying to make this guy look even better than even more better than what he is, as he's sitting at 14-0-3. But now Varus able to secure their first kill of the game as B-Sin takes that kill onto Fell, and it's looking like this game is all but just over as they sit about 9k gold up. I didn't even realize the gold lead was getting that far, but Console looking like they want to be able to try to finally take out Kittens, but Avius is here, able to get Kittens, but Avius is just on top of everybody else. B-Sin gonna end up losing his life, but it's looking like Avius is here trying to fight and is able to take Mockingbird to Brazil, but it doesn't even matter as Mockingbird was able to fight him under there. I think these two members are able to do this. If Mockingbird is able to just go ahead and live, the damage is coming out from both of them. Double kill for Mockingbird as Fell is launched onto by the Lee Sin kick, and it's just going on even more. Triple kill for this Victor, going from 3-0 to 6-0 in the span of a minute. This is absolutely domination for the side of SSG.
Yeah. I mean, they got the kill on the bot lane, so that was nice.
Okay, can I just ask a question actually? Did the visual update for Lee Sin already go through? Yes or no?
I have no clue. I didn't even know that was happening, to be honest with you.
Well, that's the reason why I was asking, because me and Pharaoh had a whole conversation about it where we were talking about like the different skins that are significantly smoother for Lee Sin, but this is I think the Thunder God skin, and that was one of the skins that was considered slightly clunkier, but to me it looks a lot smoother this time around. So I'm not sure if it's already gone through. If someone in chat could possibly correct us, but I think the Lee Sin visual update already went through, and that's why it looks a little bit different to me.
Whenever updates happen, I just quickly scan through. Are any of these champions that I actually play? Because otherwise it doesn't concern me.
If I don't see Nami or Sivir, I just walk away. Literally, I'm like, oh, I don't see a Nami buff.
If Jinx doesn't get nerfed, I'm happy. It's all good.
Oh no, Avius, are you gonna finally lose your life? They're trying to find him. Oh, barely able to do it. Avius, just take the lantern. Nope, instead, we see that Mockingbird nearly takes out Empire there, and Golden Pharaoh nearly loses his life to an arrow from the Varus. So, oh, Mockingbird is here. Gonna call in the Ornhorn. Trying to find the Mordekaiser. Gonna barely find him. Slowed up. Gonna get caught as Avius nearly dies, losing his unkillable streak, but uses the Q to be able to catch out two different members as a double kill for the jungler of SSG. And Mockingbird gonna be able to take out their support. The Baron buff also on top of all the SSG members. They're gonna be taking this mid lane, and with the death timers, potentially even this game.
Yeah, looking a little Jover, unfortunately.
Report Avius for stealing Copium's kill there.
Oh, listen, Copium was not worried about it. He was Ornn. All he had to do was hit level 13 or level 11 and just start buffing up people's items. We only seen we actually only see two Ornn items come out in this game, actually, with it being the Eclipse and the Jack Show end up being upgraded. And unfortunately, even though all the members are here, DA looking to actually be able to get a final fight as Console C goes on into the back line, but the more members here, Avius able to take out the ADC, and now he's looking for more. Empire for Hire gonna be able to take out B-Sin, but double kill going right over to the Lee Sin as we see more members sitting here fighting, and Avius able to get the triple kill. Eversoul barely living there, going to be the double kill going over to the mid laner. Absolute clean ace, but out. Oh, I lied. Not a clean ace. 4 for 1 going over to, or 5 for 1 going over to the side of SSG, and they're able to take that game. The Silver Scrapes going to the side of Shifting Sands Gaming.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
Don't give Avius the least one.
Just don't allow him to play early game. It seems like is what the lesson here is for SSG. This is so what SSG just did here is what I want to see more out of HYG. HYG is one of those teams that I always look at. I'm like, they do really good in the early game, but transitioning usually for them tends to be a little bit more difficult. What literally like this, what I just saw is what like I see HYG do every week. It's just the transition for them is not as easy. Where this time, Shifting Sands, they showed how playing early game can really benefit you, and transitioning that early game, as long as you're proactive as a jungler and roaming and making sure that you're on those timers. This was absolutely well done by SSG in a dominating fashion as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree where if you have a jungler that can perform in the early game, it's definitely really key to leverage that, because a lot of the like volatility of the game occurs in like the first 10 minutes of the game. So it's like if you have a jungler that is consistent at executing early game pressure, you should definitely look to draft around that skill.
The MVP poll is up. Get your votes in for who you think the MVP was. Currently leading Avius with 5 votes.
I'm glad that none of you guys did the drinking rule for me getting hyped because I'm pretty sure that somebody was going to the hospital with liver damage.
I have beer. What are you talking about?
Playoff seeding is, well, it's the winner of the 4 divisions and then the next top 4, and then seeding would be where you rank within those 4, essentially, just for wins and losses and whatnot.
All right, guys, we have 25 people in, and I believe only 8 votes. So about 1/3 of you guys have voted here for the MVP. So please go ahead and get the votes in, guys. Right now, Avi is sitting at the top of the votes with 5 votes, 63% of the overall voting. So go ahead, guys, start putting them votes in. And while you're also at it, if you are looking down there and doing the votes, why not also remember to utilize your Prime subs here at Valhalla Esports. Guarantee yourself 30 days of love here and support the league in the absolute smallest way possible, aside from just giving us follows, like, and letting your friends know to go ahead and join us here, either as a player or a caster or an audience member.
He's smooth with it. Mabra calling out they beat them faster with the 22-43. Avius did some good work there, but my MVP will always be Copium. You got the Copium
See,
stance.
Mara, that just proves that if you guys can figure out how to close the game fast, then you're good.
That's literally honestly, I think the vote's going to Avius here. Yep. So we've glad to see 11 people ended up voting. So about almost half of the audience ended up voting. That was awesome for you guys. Thank you. We do see Avius. If he wants to be able to jump up here or get dragged up here for an MVP interview, that'd be great. But congratulations to Shifting Sands Gaming winning that series in a very convincing game 3, showing us the ability that they do have when they're able to utilize their full early game advantages. And if you guys heard my bird squawking back there, I am so sorry. He's extremely excited as I am. He always does this when I start casting.
Messaging Avius, seeing if he's down for the interview.
If not, we can definitely get the captain of SSG on, possibly even.
Yeah, I can go check real quick.
Yeah, because we can get Avius, then at least get, we can get somebody. As well. Welcome back.
I had to go break up their team meeting, but we have him here. They elected to send their captain. So how did the games go? Did they execute on your plan?
First off, I should have gotten MVP, not him. That's ridiculous. I don't care about his Lee Sin. But no, it was good compared to our last couple games. We were actually able to hold the lead and execute, which was nice, and we played well as a team. So it's a good win. And then we're just looking forward to the rest of the weeks and playoffs, hopefully, for a debut split.
For sure.
So real quick, Mockingbird, I just want to ask a question about the game too. So when you guys went away from the Syndra, the more outright burst, what was kind of that thought process for game 2? Because it seemed like it was a lot harder for you guys to be able to either win it out or to just in general play.
Yeah, so honestly, I thought it was Yon mid, and then they flexed Aurelia, so that is what it is. So that's why I went with Sandra, and then we were going to try to play pick comp, but actually they responded really well when we tried to get picks, so it just made our comp really hard to execute, which is why for game 3 I had to go more of a damage champ like Victor.
Yeah, I definitely like you on the more ranged carries.
Yeah, I just felt like I didn't do any damage game 2.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about because when you guys switched from Syndra, like you were even like literally that first game, I jumped in the middle of it, but I was already watching you flash, scatter the weak, bursting people down and stuff like that, and to see you go from that to kind of like this more of a rotational damage type of thing or conditional damage was very interesting to see for your team, which I think though was a good learning experience.
Drafting hiccup, that's all it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least from my perspective, that's kind of what it seemed like. It was like the draft seemed to be more focused around setting things up for Avius's early pressure, because a lot of the like lanes by themselves didn't do a lot of damage. Outside of like the bot lane with the Xayah Braum, but they were outranged by the Swain Senna. So it was really tough for you guys to like really get anything done the second game.
Yeah, it's honestly shout out to them. Their Swain Senna, it's pretty nice. That's a nice pairing, and we just didn't really have enough like damage to stop Swain when he got ahead, and Xayah never got a chance to get too close to do damage. So it is what it is.
For sure. And now you guys are sitting at 3-3, I believe. So looking pretty safe as far as making it to playoffs.
Yep, and we're coming for insert name here next week.
Yeah, you're playing them. They will have Didi back this time, so you get
Fine, we're getting our lick back.
You'll get to have fun with him in the mid lane.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, good. So this week was a learning experience. We just banned Swain, and it's easy.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep. All right.
Well,
sounds good.
Thank you for the quick interview, and congratulations on the victory.
No problem. Thank you. See you guys.
Later.
And with that much said, guys, I honestly had a damn good fun time being able to cast those games. They were very, very exciting. It's really fun to see how game 2 and game 3 went. But it was definitely DA has a little bit of things that they can definitely learn. I think it was just maybe some draft and item gapping from game 3 that kind of messed them up, and then obviously not being able to play around Avius's Lee Sin. But aside from that, it's not a bad loss. It's just something that they're going to have to, maybe just tighten up a bit, maybe look at the VOD and try to see where things went wrong for themselves. Aside from that, well done, SSG. You guys were able to really get a really good win here, put you guys dead even at 50-50 for 3-3, and going into playoffs, you guys will definitely be able to improve. Blitz, thank you so much because you're also a part of the production crew and you constantly help us with running these streams. Hailstrom, thank you once again for running the stream and being patient with me getting onto it late. And Tactic, thank you for also joining us tonight. With that much said, guys, if you guys have nothing left to say, I've been Melko and I've been joined by the lovely production cast here with Valhalla Esports. And with that much said, if you haven't used your Prime subs, go ahead and use your Primes here with Valhalla Esports. Guarantee the 30 days of love with us and support the league in every which way possible that you are able to, whether it's with the subs or it's for free by liking, following, and sharing everything that you guys see here, whether it's the YouTube, the website, or the Twitch channel. With that said, guys, we are out of here and see you guys next time for the next couple casted games. Peace.
Sounds good. I just knew you needed your beauty sleep, so it's fine.
Hey, it worked out. I was fully energetic for tonight, so.
True.
The waves amongst the sea, mountains mighty tall, fields of blood and sea, and night before the fall, hills of victory, the sacrifice we share, sounds of harmony. Valhalla is a night, The waves amongst the sea, mountains mighty torn, fields of blood concealed, the night before the fall, herald to victory, the sacrifice we share, the sounds of harmony, Valhalla is alive, wars of